another planet? Is Janet from 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 another planet?
TV-MA-LSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, and violence. It is intended only for mature audiences.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Cosmic Chat. Well, I just want to remind everyone that there is a beautiful meteor shower going on right now. And as you can see on this website, they have the astronomy picture of the day on here on Explorer for NASA, and it's beautiful. You can see it's a beautiful view of the sky with some of the meteor shower going on. But they're saying on here, it looks like you can see the shower probably the best between, I think it's before midnight. What does it say here? Hold on just a second. Let me look at my notes. Yeah, it says it's best with a moonless sky, if you have that, but a lot of people are having a lot of cloudy weather. But it says you're going to see 50 to 100 meteors per hour because the Earth is passing through the debris left behind by Comet Swift-Tuttle. And I think it's best tonight, like right before midnight. I think that's what they said. And through midnight to pre-dawn, it'd be your best chance of seeing the most meteors. So put on your bug spray and go outside and have a good time. With someone you care about to get to see a beautiful meteor shower. It doesn't happen very often, but it just lets you know that how lucky we are to live on this beautiful planet and be able to understand what's going on in the heavens thanks to our science. I just think it's really, really beautiful. But I'm going to share this link in the chat so you can come to this website because it's very, very nice. It's a NASA's website, but it's got some beautiful pictures, all kinds of other information on here. So I'm going to share that really quick. Yeah, get that. Put it in the chat for everyone. And I'll post it. Well, hello, Lloyd Christmas. Thank you for stopping in. I really appreciate it. And hello, Kathy. Thank you for stopping in. I really appreciate you. Um, you like, yeah, I try to do it once a month at least. But I have to wait until new stuff comes out. Like, I'm not going to do a whole show with just about talking about the meteor shower. So if there's not a few other things that's out, it's kind of boring. People aren't interested in just talking about one item. So, but they did release a few things. So I found a couple of really interesting things that I thought we'd talk about today. But yeah, I try to do it. If we have a few more drops, I would do it more than once a month because I love being my true form, as you know. But I don't always get to do it, but I really do like it. But I want to say hi to everyone in the chat tonight before I get going. Hello. Thank you, Jackie Blue, for stopping in. I really appreciate you. You're a lot of help. And hi, baby girl. I'm glad you came in tonight. I hope you're going to get to watch a meteor shower, depending on what your weather is. So I really, really do appreciate you. So let's see. The first thing, I already shared this thing about the meteor shower. So if you get a chance, go out tonight with someone you care about and take a look at this beautiful, beautiful showers that we're going to have out there. But the first thing I wanted to share was this new release that we have that about a UFO supposedly. So I thought I would share that with everyone first. It's another drop from the White House itself. So I think it's pretty cool. And it's on the government website for UFO. And right here's the website. I'll go to it in a second. But I wanted to share this because it's really, really cool. I'm going to open this up. Make sure it's turned up. But here we go. Look at this. They're following it. So you see the dot right here in the center? They're following it through the air. They lost sight of it. They're looking for it. There it is. They're catching up with it again. But you see the little dot? It says U.S. Central Command submitted a report of an unidentified anomalous phenomenon from an electro-optical and infrared sensor aboard a U.S. military platform, 2025. So this happened last year, but we're just getting to see it now, which I think is very, very interesting. That for some reason why they didn't want us to see what it was. And they're letting it out now. And everybody keeps saying how they want a government that's more transparent. And we have one now, but the news doesn't even want to report the stuff that this government is releasing. I think that's really interesting. But yeah, this is a very, really, really good picture. I mean, look how clear it is. I don't know how fast it's going, but the picture is really clear. See, it's catching up now. I guess because of the change to the next infrared, it made it a little harder to see, which means it's not hot. It's not glowing hot because it's not white. See how everything that's white would be, it would be glowing. So see, it's whatever this one is. This is like infrared, I guess. And the other one was for the, I guess, heat thing. Whatever, but that is just really cool to get to see this, and it was taken by the government, not by someone with a drone or from another country or whatever. This is from our own government. I think that's very, very, really, really cool. We don't get to see that kind of stuff very often. But let me copy this, and I'm gonna put this in the chat for you because I liking that they're sharing more and more stuff. And remember, they've got many, many, many years of stuff that they're trying to release as they grow through it. So I think it's really cool to get to see it. Oh yeah, I heard there was a solar eclipse tonight too. I don't know who it was. It was on Instagram. Someone that said Donkashane to me. They said to say hello to me, but they said it in I guess I don't know what is that German or something, but they said that to me. So somewhere over in Europe, they're having a solar eclipse. So I think that's really great, and it won't be long. We have an upcoming planet alignment where we have like 6 planets that are going to be lined up. I'll have to open my cosmic chat and look and see what's in there. But yeah, it's very interesting. Lloyd, if you would like to join me on the next one I have, send me some interesting stuff that we can pull up and talk about that can't be on YouTube. It's got to be, something that I won't get in trouble for sharing, and send it to me on Discord, and we'll set it up, and then you can join me and we can talk about some of this cool stuff. Yeah. Well, it could be, but it's still interesting, isn't it? And won't you feel like a ding dong when something does happen and they prove that it's real, or you see it yourself and you find it's real, and then you go, God, I wish I paid attention more when the stuff was being released. But why would all these governments from before, all our other presidents and stuff like that, hide everything from us if supposedly it was just to cover up something else? So I don't know. I'm liking that they're finally letting stuff out. Oh, thermal imaging. Okay. You're so smart. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, it's German. That's what I thought. And that means thank you. Well, I guess he said thank you to me for following him, because I followed him because I didn't realize he had followed me. And it'd been about like 4 or 5 days since I've been able to get on Instagram. So I was glad to have that. It was really sweet of him. But he wrote back to me later after I said thank you back to him for sending me the little thing. I said, Danke Shane. He sent me a thing. He said, I'm watching the solar eclipse right now. And I was like, wow, cool. So I didn't know for sure where it was from. But yeah, I figured it was somewhere over there because I knew we wouldn't have one. But the meteor shower is so cool because a lot of people don't realize how important our atmosphere is for life on our planet. And not just the fact that it holds the oxygen and everything on, the fact that the way it's set up with our 2 magnetic poles to protect us from debris. It burns, a lot of it burns up before it even gets to us, and it protects us from radiation. It protects us for so much. It's a miracle in itself, the planet that we live on, and plus it's beauty. It's so much beauty, so many different countries with just phenomenal mountains and lakes and rivers, and it's just gorgeous. And deserts, some of the deserts are even just breathtakingly beautiful. I just love nature shows, and I just love that stuff. I just wish I could watch it every single day, but not everyone can do that. I wish I could, but you can't. But I just wanted to share that. Yeah, I think Mars even had used to have a decent atmosphere. And it's interesting how, like our moon, how our moon is just desolate and it doesn't have anything, on it. And the way that the stuff just kind of sits there, it doesn't move, or you don't see the sand moving and things like that. It doesn't have the same life to it. It looks dead. Because I went back and watched a few videos showing them walking on it and things like that, and you could just see it just nothing moves. It just kind of just stays there, and it's very sad in a way. And then when you look out and you see like Titan, it's a moon, but the probes they've already sent there and stuff, that we already can tell it has movement, it has action, emotion on the planet, right, itself. That's interesting. That's why I think it's so awesome that we are able to go to other planets, send probes, satellites, and different things like that, and project it back to where we can actually see it. Because I don't think enough young people are interested in going to outer space or even learning about outer space. They're so busy wanting to make TikTok videos and things like that they don't want to take the time to maybe build something for themselves to one day send something. Maybe they don't want to go there themselves, but to create something that we can send to another planet to find out if there's something on it that's unique to that planet, that's different than what we have, because that's the only way we're going to find out if there's life on other planets. And that movie that came out, that Hail Mary movie, I just loved it. I saw it twice already, and it was just so well made, and I loved the little rock alien, and I thought Ryan Gosling did a wonderful job, and it was so believable to me, the way that they set the whole thing up. And you have to be a special kind of person to be able to go through that kind of stuff. But it was really good. You liked it too, Lloyd Christmas? I'm glad, because it was really, really good. I really did enjoy it. And I wish more people could, sorry, I'm trying to open up my X so I can reply over there, because I can't text on this thing that I have, which is called StreamYard. I can't write on here and have it go to the chat anywhere except for YouTube. And I just hate that. I don't know why they can't fix it to where if I type it here, it goes to all my platforms, Well, hello, Boosh. If you would like to join me, I would send you an invite if you want to join me on the show. I'm just talking about a few things that I found that have to do with outer space or some other weird phenomenon like that. So I haven't talked to you in a long time. I hope you're doing well. I've been seeing all the unique foods you've been posting on your timeline. So, okay, well, send me a message on Discord when you're ready, or on X, and I'll send you a link over there. You want me to send it on X, or would you like it on Discord? And let me know, and I'll send you a thing, and you can join me. You can gab. But while I'm waiting on you, I will show the next interesting thing I found. So let me close this. Okay, and go to this next one. Hold on. I think it's this one. Okay, yeah, this one I thought was interesting. It might be the same thing, but I don't think it is, because it's on the actual website. It says the president's unsealing of this. It's a, I don't know, can't explain it. Yeah, unsealing and reporting system for UAP encounters. So unknown, phenomenon, basically. But I just think it's interesting. But this is a cool website. It's a U.S. Department of War, and it's their one area for like UFOs and other unique things that they have. But it's I'm going to share this link really quick. It's the departmentofwar.gov at UFO. But I'm going to share this really quickly for you. So, okay, I want you to make sure everybody can see that, because this website is really interesting. The Department of War just released the 5th tranche of records under pursue. The first one was released on May 8th, 2026. Scroll down to view the 5th, released on August 7th. So I guess it was released yesterday or a couple days ago. Yeah. So, but they have all this information about it. And this is what Donald Trump said on Truth Social. Based on the tremendous interest shown, I will be directing the Secretary of War, which is Pete Hegseth, and other relevant departments and agencies to begin the process of identifying and releasing government files related to alien and extraterrestrial life, unidentified aerial phenomenon, and unidentified flying objects, and any and all other information connected to these highly complex but extremely interesting and important matters. God bless America. So he's trying to fulfill what he said. He's trying to show transparency. And if you watch the White House, you can go to the whitehouse.gov, and when he signs an executive order, anything, he always has the press there, and they have people there to explain what he's signing and why he's signing it. So how many other presidents ever did that? But you know what? I'm on X, I'm on TikTok, I'm on a bunches of different things, Rumble, and I hardly ever see anyone just posting about what the president just signed for an executive order or whatever. And it's sad though. He should be signing bills, not having to make everything executive order. An executive order can be just written away by the next person who gets in office. So if they make a bill like the Save America Act, and he signs that on his desk, guess what? That's a law. It's a big difference. Then I don't know if I've seen that. I don't think I've seen that before. I've never watched him. What does he do? I guess I missed out because I don't know who that is. Sorry, but hold on. I got to go to X really quick and share this with Boosh in his messages. So just give me a second. Sorry, I can only do one thing at a time because tonight I am a blonde. So there you go. But yeah, I just think it's great. I'm glad that we're having a chance to see stuff that no one else has gotten to see because they kept it locked up in a box somewhere for whatever their reason was behind it, whether they thought people were too stupid or that we'd be afraid and, jump off buildings or something, like what happened supposedly when they had the War of the Worlds on the radio, back when they didn't have a television yet, and people just were leaping off buildings supposedly and freaking out because they thought that aliens had invaded. Sorry, I'm really thirsty. But I just wanted to share that, and make sure you go to www.war.gov UFO and get to check all that out yourself, because there's tons of stuff on there. I didn't have a lot of time to go through all that because I was trying to do some stuff around the house before I did do this. So I just wanted to make sure that other people got to see it. But let me take that one down now. And let's go to the next one that I found. Oh, this was interesting because I didn't realize that we actually had state representatives and stuff that would actually talk about stuff like this. But it's interesting that we have certain people that are willing to go on camera and let it known what they think about certain things, outer worldly things. Because a lot of people, there used to be a stigma that if a person, that was, say, a mayor or a police chief or a governor or lieutenant governor or someone like that was in government ever said anything about seeing an alien or something that they thought might be a spaceship or that they were abducted or anything like that, that they would be, it would ruin their career, right? Unless you were like a famous actor or something like that, they expect, weird stuff like that. But for something that's this important kind of a position, a lot of people might freak out and think that you're a nut job or whatever. But I guess wearing a dress and lipstick and all that stuff, but running the Nuclear Regulatory Commission or whatever for a certain White House, that's okay. But talking about being abducted or seeing something that you didn't know what it was, but you thought might be a spaceship, that's considered nuts. So I don't know. I just think it's a little lopsided out there. But Lauren Boebert had this on Interstellar on their channel or on their X account. And I thought this was really interesting. So I'm going to share this with you. So hold on. Let me get it bigger. Make sure it's turned up. Here we go.
And in today's world, that's really something. But even in these, even in some of the documentations that I'm seeing, there's a lot to do with even portals. And I'm interested in more information of that coming out as well. But even to be in a congressional hearing and have enough information to ask the question, is there breeding between these biological beings and humans? There's a there that needs to be answered. And I got a lot of heat from local papers at home and some folks, but we're just asking the questions. If someone is going to come to congressional offices and say that they have seen it, that they have been a part of it, and are read into these programs, then it's worth an investigation. And all of these agencies, even the contractors, when they are too big to answer to government, when they were too big to answer to Congress, the entity that created them and gives them funding, then it's clear that they're too big. And we have got to rein that in and have more accountability.
What you started out with saying, that you had heard somebody saying that they believed in the government, or they believed in the alien program or disclosure before the government started talking about.
That was interesting. But you know what? It doesn't shock me. There was a movie that came out with trying to remember what his name is. Darn it. Will Smith, I think, about the guys that wore the black suits, and they ran a bunch of stuff behind the scenes with the government with Men in Black. There was that one, but then there was the other one where he was a pilot, and supposedly we were being invaded or whatever by aliens. And they went to, New Mexico, and supposedly they had aliens there. And the government or the president and other people didn't even know about it. You know what I mean? So it was like hidden and kept secret. So that's scary. Think about it. If we have which government's in charge of what, that type of thing. Independence Day. That is right. I could not remember the name of it. But that movie to me was very interesting. I saw it like 4 times. But it was interesting because if you think about it, you have one government that takes all your taxes, right? And then they say the money's going to go here or there, and we have Congress vote on it, and it's supposed to go to a certain place. Then you find out later on that they're running guns in Mexico with money that we supposedly paid taxes on to give them the money to do that. Well, we would never have donated the money or gave money willingly out of our paychecks if we knew they were going to do gun running to catch some drug smugglers or whatever, right? So it's just interesting and scary when you think about how we don't really know what the hell's going on, with our government. We don't know who's in charge of what or any of that. That's why I'm liking seeing us getting swept. You know what I mean? Getting a bunch of this fraud being swept out, and then showing where certain things have went and cutting it off. And what's funny is that the whole Democrat Party is like struggling right now to get money for their campaigns and stuff, since there's no NGOs and the USAID has been closed down, and a whole bunch of these other frauds have been closed down. They're having a hard time getting money, because even a radio station that's told they have to have for every conservative show they have on the radio, they have to have a balance of a liberal show. But the hard thing is for radio stations is nobody wants to buy ads on a liberal channel. So it's really hard for them to make any money or make a profit. Well, welcome, Boosh. How are you?
Oh, trying to cool down.
Cool down. Yeah, it was 100 degrees here
Yeah.
where I'm at.
I can't walk the dog during the day, and it's still, I think it was 87 when I left the house to walk the dog. And
Yeah, because you're in Texas, right?
yeah,
Yeah. What's your
thankfully,
humidity like there right now?
it's like walking through soup.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It was like
It's real,
87
it's
humidity.
real hot and
Really
real hot and real gross. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
like you
sit in the
getting out of the
shade.
shower and putting your clothes on without drying off with a towel. It's like really gross. People that live like in Arizona and stuff, I have a couple of friends that live there and a few relatives, and they have no clue. They fly to Arkansas, they get off the plane, they go, I can't breathe, I can't get my breath. It's it's like swimming because it's so different for them. So did you get to see any of the meteor shower or anything like that?
No,
Because tonight they're supposed to be really be able to see between midnight and pre-dawn. You're supposed to be able to see like 50 to 100 meteors per hour.
are there any
Supposed to be a whole bunch.
people doing the Heaven's Gate thing, trying to reach the alien ships that are on the meteors?
That was Hellbot, wasn't it? That they were
Yes.
trying to
Yeah,
get
that was,
behind. This one is from it says the, hold on. It's the, damn it. Yeah.
right. Yeah, that was Hellbop. Shoemaker
Yeah.
Levy was the one that crashed into Jupiter. It looked really, really awesome.
Yeah. This one is something, I can't remember the name of it. I'm trying to find it. Hold on. I got to move my thing up from my notes. This is the Swift-Tuttle comet. And we went through the tail of it. We're going through the tail of it. And that's why we're seeing supposedly all these meteors from that, little flecks of stuff going through the atmosphere. But
And there
little
was
big,
an eclipse in Europe today.
yeah, I heard that, solar eclipse. So yeah, I heard that also. But there's supposed to be a planet alignment coming up with 6 planets like Venus and I'm trying to remember the other ones. I can't remember them. I didn't pull it up. But yeah, it's going to be, that would be really cool. I put a video on my channel a couple months ago because I could have swore I saw 2 UFOs. But I was driving home and I was seeing this light and it was like blinking on and off, like pulsating off in the distance. And I live basically in the boonies, so there really isn't anything. So I was wondering what that was way up there doing that. And then you see another one. It was smaller, but it was down a little bit off a little bit. And then it was started blinking. So it was like they're blink, 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 like they were talking to each other. And then it would disappear and then the other one disappeared. Then it would come back and they would do the same thing, almost in the exact same spot. So I didn't know what it was, but I took video of it and I posted it. But a lot of people said they thought it was there was these 2 planets that were supposed to line up and we were going to be able to see them. So Venus was one of them. I don't know what the other one was, because that's what story I tell everybody about me is that because I'm from Venus, in my true form. This is what we look like on Venus, women. But when the Earth, and Venus are lined up and there's no planets or anything between us, then we can send women to Earth from Venus to find men. Because men can't live on our planet.
Well, I'm pretty sure there's a whole bunch of might be ladies living in the United States who just hate men and everything else because they've never experienced it before.
Mm-hmm. Maybe. But
Or
we love men.
The massive amounts of SSRIs that they're on.
So, yeah, it's terrible, isn't it?
Yeah, it's out of hand. There's a case that I've been following. Lacey. Oh God, it's gonna bother the hell out of me. But she went to several different doctors and psychiatrists and nurse practitioners, and
Mhm.
25 different prescriptions in 4 months, and was taking this pill, then that pill, then stopping the other pill, then taking this other pill. And she was already having ideations and intrusive thoughts and all these other symptoms. And apparently no one was able to help her. You know, one of the doctors seemed extremely incompetent on the stand. And she
Are you talking about the lady who strangled her children?
had 3 kids, and then she jumped out a window and paralyzed herself. Yes.
Mhm. Okay.
She was
Yeah.
all pills. It's ridiculous.
I have seen 3 or 4 friends of mine who had postpartum depression in real life after their second child, because it's usually after a second or third child that they get it, that you get diagnosed with it. And if she already had problems before, and like that one lady, it was years ago, they had 4 children, and she drowned her children.
Yeah, the car.
To go to work. So
I
it's
think
basically
I think that was the 80s.
Yeah, that was a long time ago, but I remember it was a real big deal on the news, and it was really sad because the husband left to go to work when his wife's sitting there unbathed, unkempt, in a chair eating out of a box of cereal, and he couldn't wait till his mom got there because he didn't want to be late for work. I thought that he should have been held accountable also because he knowingly left. He left those kids with it.
What's he supposed to do?
Stay there until his mother got there.
Yeah.
They're his kids too. They're not just hers. And he could tell that it was not normal.
No one has the kids, and then they get killed anyway.
Well, it's just sad. But the thing is that if your wife's having those problems, and you need to get someone else to take care of the children until you can figure out what you're going to do, because anyone who knows anyone else who's been on drugs, or a person that's hooked on drugs, they're not themselves when they're on something else, other substances. So it's just dangerous. And it's not just dangerous to be alone with your kid. Just think about putting them in a car and driving around. You're putting your kids in danger and everyone else on the road, those type of things. I just think it's sad. I wish we had better healthcare people, professionals that cared more about trying to get to the bottom of the problem instead of just throwing pills at it. You know what I mean?
That's been going on since the 90s.
I know, but not everyone. I mean, I've been lucky, and when I moved to New Orleans, I drove all the way back to Arkansas whenever I had to have a real good appointment with my doctor or whatever for any health thing, because they weren't one of those doctors that just wrote prescriptions. And I felt very lucky to have that, to have that option. And I wasn't going to go see someone else and then get stuck not being able to get back with her when I got back to Arkansas. So I'd made sure that I, kept all my appointments and everything, because it was definitely worth it to have a good doctor. Huh?
I derailed this, didn't I? Sorry.
No, that's fine. That's fine. It's just talking about, weird phenomenon and, aliens or, Bigfoot, things like that.
My friend and I saw what we thought was a UFO, or I guess what you call it before, UAP. Is that the new one? Unidentified aerial phenomenon or something. This is in Tampa, and we're hanging out, or I forget what road we're walking down, and we see this thing in the sky, and it splits apart, and then like the 2 ends blink, and then they're gone, and then it splits apart again, and those 2 ends blink, and then they're gone, or something like that. I don't really remember. We had been drinking, but it was like, what the hell is that? It looks like there's a central light, and it's kind of like orangish red, and then out like directly out of the side. It's not like those one above and the one below. It's like directly in line with the big one. These other lights here, and then the two ends blink and then fizzle out. Then it does it all over again. And we talked about that. And his brother was in the military, might have been Air Force, I'm not sure, but he was at CENTCOM, which is in Tampa. And we were hanging out. His brother came to visit, and we told him that, and he was like, when was this? Yeah, like whatever, month it was. And he goes, yeah, that they were doing a test. Like that, those were planes. Like I can show you the stuff. There was a report on it in the newspaper and everything. You may see these lights at this time. Like, so you could go out and be like, wow, that's really cool. What are they doing? They were doing something with helicopters. It was just a helicopter maneuver to see if they could stay in flight or something. And they were shooting off flares. But
that's interesting.
Yeah, it was in the paper days before.
Oh, well, but how many people reads the paper anymore?
Yeah, well, yeah, it's like, and for something like that, it's way back at like the last page of the Metro section.
Yeah.
I mean, it was years ago, and I did still read the paper on occasion. But yeah, the reason they put it in there was if people are interested. You can go watch it. CENTCOM's right there in Tampa. You can go check it out and watch. Cool. Yeah, we thought it was aliens. Again, we were kind of intoxicated.
I want to show you this. I'm going to open it. This is what I saw. See, this video I posted on YouTube. Let me get past the opening here. I posted it because I saw it. I couldn't believe it. And I called people afterward and said, you got to see this, and I sent the video. But this is at the end of my driveway, and you'll see my vehicle. I'm at the end of my driveway, which is like over a football field length. And there's two lights in the sky, and I'm trying to videotape it. I'm standing outside my vehicle. But you see them, and they're blinking because there's other stars, but you'll see these two lights. One's bigger than the other, as you could tell. And one's like an orangish yellow, like it's almost on fire. That one on top. Let me turn it up a little. It's as loud as it'll go. And the light ends up going out, and then it comes back up again. But it's just weird. But just watch. I wish I had a better camera, but that was my iPhone. It doesn't take a very good picture. See, it went out.
See, it disappeared.
It goes away, and then it comes back. And then the other one goes off.
And then it's going to come back on again.
I'm trying to keep my phone steady, which is really hard. And I can see why people say, oh, it's so shaky cam or whatever.
I don't know if it's satellites or what.
But I've been watching it on my way home. And I was hoping that I'd be able to get home, without having an accident and be able to video it when I got home.
Just a minute. The car.
Sorry, I had a car drive by. I'm trying to hold my arm up. There it goes. Yeah, and then the other one will light back up again.
Coming back, and then they go away. The big one will come back, and then the little one will come back. See? Here it comes.
Were they moving at all?
Yeah, they moved a little bit, but they were pretty steady about where they were until they just stopped doing it. I don't know what they were. But I just stood there for as long as I could, and then I started moving the camera around so you could see where the tree line was, how high up it was in the sky. I was just trying to give you I kind of show you where I'm at, and there's just nothing out here. There's no there's telephone poles, down the lines, but I mean up in the sky, there's no like huge towers or anything. See, here they come back again, and then they stay lit. See, I'm showing you my tree line. This is my my yard.
Every now and then I can kind of make out a star.
And then down.
Yeah, every so
My
often.
yard.
See, this is my window of my
And my
truck,
house.
and there's my driveway, and then I go back up to the same spot. Love the trees,
But see, there they are again.
and then they're
Whatever
real
we do,
bright,
they just keep going on and off.
and then they go off and on. It was
Not
just very
perfect
interesting, and
about
I never
how long
found out what it was,
it's close.
but
Really bizarre.
it is. And the next morning, I went up there and I filmed myself walking up the driveway, and I showed the same tree line and everything, and up in the air where I did see it. I have no idea what it was, but it was really interesting. It was many years ago that I ever saw a UFO until then, because I have no idea what it is, because that's what it is. It's unidentified. And you can share with people. And then I've had people tell me it was some planet lined up with another planet. And we're going to be able to see that here very quickly. I think there's 6 planets supposed to line up if you're in the right place to be able to, look up in the sky and see it. I can't wait.
We can see Mars and Venus in the sky.
Yeah.
I don't think we can see Mercury. I don't know.
I don't know, but we're supposed to be able to see 6 planets if you have the right telescopes or whatever. So I don't know what you're going to be able to see with the bare eyes, but I just thought that was really so freaky, because I was like hyped up. I hardly slept that night because I could not stop thinking about it. So I can see why anyone that sees something that's really bizarre, you just want to figure out what it is, because it just drives you crazy. What is that? That type of thing. But yeah, it's just really interesting. It's usually 3 of them. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. A lot of people will say it is a triangle, a triangle, but there wasn't a triangle for mine. Mine was just 2 lights, but one was definitely smaller than the other one. And that could mean it was farther away, but it almost seemed like they were like,
yeah,
talking to each other or something. Because in the movie, I guess maybe because when I saw Close Encounters, it had a huge impact on me, the way they used sound and lights to communicate. So maybe that's why I think that, I always lean towards that might be the way that they communicate with each other when they're out there, because, you can blink 3 times and say, I'm going right. I don't know. You know what I mean? But I just thought it was really interesting. But I found this other video I thought was kind of neat. I want to share it real quick.
I like Mars Attacks. You ever see that?
Yes. Yeah, there was gross, but I love that the fact that Tom Jones was in it.
One of my favorite parts is where they've already landed in, I think, the Nevada desert, and someone released a dove. They came in peace, and they just wipe out the whole crowd. Then they want to come back, and Rod Steiger was like, "No, we have to nuke them now." Like, no, we will not do it now. No, we'll meet them again. And he just like throws his hands up and walks away. So they go to meet Congress, and they just nuke them all. And then
I know. I thought it was great. I thought it was really funny. And the way that they had their it was like old timey alien looking costume.
Yeah, 1950s.
Yeah, it was really cool.
They cut to the nursing home with the old lady, and she goes, "I thought they blew up Congress." That's so good.
I know. It was really funny. It was a really funny, real funny movie. The way that
that's not green paint. That's what she looks like when she takes her human outfit off.
This is my true form. Yeah. I'm kind of scary. Yeah. I just do whatever I have to kind of make it. Now I do have the thing. See the little dots flying around me?
Yeah.
I have that, and it helps me with my eyes. So they look more like alien eyes. But the rest is all my doing. So my costume or whatever. And I do have a pistol, my own gun with straps that goes on my leg. I have my own weapons.
Oh my God!
But I'm not standing up.
There's some fan service, guys.
There you go. I don't normally stand up or anything, but so if I did go somewhere, I have a costume on. But I want to share this. This is pretty funny. It says James Clarkson. I never heard of him. On Portal or Void. Okay, like what she was talking about earlier. And she was talking about portals, that different portals that she believes that they're covering up information about the portals, the government, and she's trying to get to the bottom of it. So I thought that was pretty cool. So this what he's talking about it too. So I wanted to share this. Thought it was interesting because I don't know who he is. I'll have to look him up.
A man was on duty. This man works for one of the 3-letter agencies of the United States government. This man was a law enforcement officer. He has arrest powers. He's armed. He's highly trained. He's in the prime of his life. He's a family man. I know who he is. I've communicated with him numerous times, and I've met him in person twice. But back on July 2nd of 2014, I never heard of him. About 6 or 7 days later, my cell phone rings, and this man is very reluctant on the phone. He doesn't want to tell me who he is. He doesn't want to tell me where he works, but he said that something really strange happened and he needed to talk to somebody about it. And the phrase that popped up immediately was, he said he was desperately hoping that what he saw had a conventional explanation. What he saw was a metallic disc-shaped aircraft flying over the city of Vancouver, Washington in broad daylight on a sunny day at about 1 o'clock in the afternoon on July 2nd, 2014. He sees this object fly directly across the sky. He can see that it tilts slightly. He can see the gleam of metal. He can see the shadow underneath it. He's convinced that it's a 3-dimensional, physical, tangible aircraft. He said when it got 2/3 of the way across the sky, it looked as if someone drew a line in the air. And as the craft crossed the line, it wasn't there anymore. It was just gone. He saw a ripple in space, and then there was just nothing. I called my good friend William Puckett, who runs UFOs Northwest, and I asked him to write a Freedom of Information Act request to get the radar data from the FAA. He does. In the same area where the individual observed the UFO disappear into the sky, there are unidentified solid returns. These are something blocked the radar for 2 passes of the radar that did not have a transponder associated with it. In other words, there was no identifier. A normal airplane has a transponder that's called squawking, where it's constantly broadcasting its serial number and its location and saying, hey, I'm a friendly, don't shoot me down. And only military aircraft are allowed to turn off their transponders, and only under special circumstances. And that does not include flying over a metropolitan area near a major international airport. That would be a big no-no.
Have you heard that interview before?
No.
Because he is trying to explain, he feels, and to other people like that, that whatever that was, that rift, is like a portal so that you can go through and in and out into another dimension or to another planet, you know, like what they had in that, what was that movie with the pyramids, you know, Stargates, you know, something like that type of point of view. So I thought this was really interesting because I've heard Lauren Boebert talk about different information, because I've played her a couple of different videos of her talking about portals, and that she's trying to dig in because she heard and read papers or whatever about interbreeding with humans and aliens. So she's trying to get to the bottom of it because it's interesting to her. And it's not just her. There's other, I'm trying to remember some of the other, Tim Burchett and a few others are digging into it since they started releasing all these files through the Department of War, the UFO part. There, I shared that earlier so that you could look it up. But there's a few. I think there's like 5 different ones that I've played, 5 different people in the government, in this administration, that are digging in certain areas because they think that area is most intriguing about what they've heard. And so they're trying to get more information about the different topics. And I just think that's really interesting because my whole life, I've never seen anyone in the government trying to do that. You know what I mean?
Well,
and share with us.
we're not supposed to. If it's some kind of new tech that the United States has come up with, we're never going to hear anything about it. Not until
Well, if it's new tech, then it's not alien. See what I mean? If it's not alien, then it's not new tech. See what I'm saying?
What? No.
Okay. If an alien came to our planet and is flying around and going into the ocean and going out and going through portals or doing this different stuff, and people are catching it on video, or we've had, just like the video I showed earlier, where it was caught by the government himself from a governmental platform, and they shared it using thermal technology or whatever, and some other different views showing the difference of what this craft, this circle orb craft flying really fast, looked like under the different sensors they were using on it. They used the heat one, and then they used.
My supposition was that it's something that the United States has come up with, and it might not even be under the purview of the president or his administration. They may be hiding stuff. There are organizations in our country that don't exactly.
Well, that's what I was just talking about before you came on. It was that movie Independence Day, and the president went to that
Area
place
51.
Area 51 in New Mexico, and went in there and was shocked to find out it was all this stuff that he didn't know anything about as president of the United States. And the fact that we would have governments, people in the government that collect our money, our taxes, and use it for stuff and don't tell us what they're doing with it. I mean, if they say they're going to make our military stronger and build some planes or some submarines or whatever, I don't care what kind of submarine or whether I know all the technology that they're putting on Air Force One or whatever else, as long as I know what it's being spent on, and that it's for us, to protect our country or whatever, that type of thing. I don't need to know every detail. But if they're taking the money and they're making a comic book in Africa about transgenders, and taking $5 million out of our taxes, I don't want it spent on that.
Yeah, it's
so
that's the what was it? $10,000 for a hammer, $100,000 for a toilet seat,
I know.
$5 million for a comic book in Zimbabwe. Yeah,
that kind of stuff's ridiculous, and I think that's another reason why a lot of people don't like this administration, because they're cutting off their funds and exposing where it's at. Like that one thing I found out, we talked about it a few times because it was so huge. There was like $1 billion, over $1 billion with a B, just in one county in California of veteran and I don't know if it was not Social Security, it was a Blue Cross or Blue Shield, something like that, fraud in one county in California for over $1 billion.
That's LA County. The last time I checked, had 2,000 different hospice organizations operating that were billing California Medicare and federal Medicare for hundreds of billions.
Yeah.
And this is really interesting because you look at the number 2,000 just in LA County. There are 43 in Texas. The entire state of Texas has more population than LA County, but they have 2,000. The entire state of Texas has 43, and they don't bill anywhere near as much. There aren't that many people dying in LA, and they certainly don't need hospice care for.
But that just shows you that when a person applies for something, that the people that are supposed to make sure that you have all the paperwork you need about what you're applying for, where you're going to have it, and then have ways to look into it to make sure it's legitimate.
Receipts.
Just like that kid. Just like that kid in is it Wisconsin or is it Minnesota that he's in? The one who's finding all that fraud.
Oh, Nick Shirley, he's all over the place. He was in Wisconsin, Minnesota, California made a law that if he produces information about them, they can sue, which is wild. And he's also been to New York. He's been to Spain. He's been to UK. He's been to France.
Yeah, Nick Shirley, that's his name.
Yeah,
but
he's showing up all over the planet.
The thing is, once that's exposed, once someone like he gets it out there, it's harder for the same area to be duped over that again if they get rid of the people that duped them in the first place. See what I mean?
One of the things Newsom was doing was he was like, "Oh yeah, we there's no fraud, there's no fraud. He's lying." Then he exposes the fraud, and Newsom's like, "Oh yeah, we've been working on investigations for the fraud for years and years and years. We just couldn't tell anyone about it. Anyway, here's 400 losers that we don't know, and you can go ahead and arrest them. And they're going to go to prison for life. There, the fraud's over. Ha ha ha."
Wow.
I think it was 486 people were indicted in California for fraud, and they look like homeless people.
Well, that's one of the things that I was worried about in some of these states is the fact that you can pretty much guess who benefited from the fraud, right? The people who were able to get the money out of the system. The people
the ones who were buying a new house every 2 years, and the house cost
but the ones who put in for it, the ones who say they were running it, all those people should all be in jail for it, be in jail, and everything they have, every dime that they took should be said, well, we're taking it out of everything you have. We're selling your home. We're doing this. And it's sad because let's say that the wife and kids didn't really understand where the money was coming from. Now they're homeless and they don't have a home. They'll have to move in with their family.
That's the crazy thing. They said this family in LA, and it's like you're saying, like there's a wife and kids, and they called the news to show up so they could show them being arrested. Like, that's not okay. You can't do that. I'm pretty sure that's illegal in most states.
Well, it should be.
News,
California,
information of an investigation, an ongoing investigation.
You know what I mean? It's not like Texas or Arkansas or any of those.
But they hauled them out in broad daylight in front of their kids, in front of the whole neighborhood, and threw them in the paddy wagon. And they're like, these guilty of embezzling $50 million. And I'm looking at their house and I'm going, no, that's a Camry. He has like a 2018 Camry in his driveway. Where's the 50 million? What are you talking about? I don't believe you.
And then they found out when they went to court that wasn't true.
Oh, I don't know. There was no follow-up. They don't have Freedom of Information Act over there in California. They got these anti-SLAPP laws and all that stuff. Very, very strong anti-SLAPP laws. You can't sue or defame anyone in government or any of the elites.
It's a state where you're in your house and you're sleeping in your bed and your kids are in their bed, and then all of a sudden you hear glass breaking and you get up, you get a bat or whatever it is, and you go to see what the noise is, and you find out there's two guys in your house, right? So you're in there fighting with them with a bat, and then your wife comes in with a gun and she shoots one in the leg, and then she shoots the other guy and he dies. Okay. So now you got two guys that came in, broke into your house in California, and you defended yourself. And now you have to hawk your house and everything, defend yourself because you were defending yourself.
Right.
It's bullshit. That is wrong. That should never happen in this country, not in America.
That's the courts, the DA and the court system bringing charges against those people that they shouldn't be bringing to begin with. And, how about arrest the bad guys instead of releasing them back into the public, and then they go commit crime, and people that do defend themselves wind up exactly like you said. Like, now they have to go to court like $200,000 just before trial. I mean, before you even go to trial to get a good attorney.
In the state I'm in right now, we have a gentleman whose daughter was taken from the window of her bedroom in the middle of the night. And the dad got up, saw that she was missing, and there had been a guy that had been caught hanging around a lot and stuff. He was like, a registered sex offender or whatever. So he went after it when he saw the vehicle driving off. He got in his vehicle and followed the guy out. And then he basically beat the guy to death, okay, in his own vehicle, okay, and got his kid. Well, so because it wasn't him being attacked, they were saying that it wasn't self-defense or whatever.
That's
that's
not the law.
I know, but he did get arrested and had to go to court and all that stuff. But he ran for sheriff and he won.
So
in the state of Arkansas, things like that would happen in California, they don't get away with it.
No, but in self-defense law, if you are with, let's say, the daughter, and there's a man attacking the daughter, and he goes and beats that guy up, that is defense of self and others. That child cannot protect themselves and not physically defend themselves from that assailant.
You and I know
have to be the father. It could be a stranger sees this grown man grabbing a screaming child and trying to haul her away. He goes over there and beats that guy up.
We understand that. You and I understand that because we have common sense. It's the weirdos and the
it's not just common sense. It's the law.
I know, but I'm saying in California, you try to defend yourself like that, and you could go to prison for it. If
New York,
you're arrested in the wrong place, yeah, New York too.
What's his name? Penny and. I can't remember Penny's first name, and Jordan Neely, I think it was the name. This guy was on the subway attacking people, and
yeah, I saw that whole thing.
Daniel Penny stepped in to stop him, and he wound up getting him a chokehold and knocking him out. He was still alive in the ambulance, and he died en route to the hospital. We don't know what happened in the ambulance. He could have just denied care and passed away somehow, or whatever. Succumbed to his injuries and just said, "Don't touch me, don't touch me." And they can't. They're not allowed. You have to, give consent to care. But they prosecuted him anyway.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But the sad, what I don't understand when you get down to the bottom of it is when you have people like that in charge because you voted them in, like what happened with the fires in California, right? With that mayor that was a total idiot with
Sharon Bass.
with water hydrants with no water in them, things like that. And what did she just win again?
Yeah. No. The other one did.
Oh, she did lose?
Yeah, the third place, there was we still have more ballots to count that came in after the election, and the third place candidate surged ahead, and no one ever heard of her before. Like, we've heard of Spencer Pratt before. He used to be famous, and he was getting himself out there on YouTube and Instagram and Twitter, and putting his message out there, making videos, and he still is. The LA media doxed him. They're like, yeah, doesn't he live over here? Yeah, it's crazy. Like, this is where he lives. What do you? You can't do that. Well, they can't.
Well, they can do anything they want apparently, and they can get reelected because of it. So it's
they can sue people for challenging government.
But I have this other video that I wanted to bring up. It's pretty interesting. So I'm going to share this. And I don't know if you guys have seen it or not.
But you've got this clip. Is there any way that we can show it here on the Zoom chat?
Yeah, we'll
let's take a look at
if you'll present and we'll I'll walk through it here.
It's talking about a portal that was caught manifesting in the Smoky Mountains.
For the technology side of it. This was,
but I can't pause it. It
back
won't
in
let me pause it. I don't know why.
Unfortunately, the camera equipment I had was 480p, so
I can't hear it.
And I have run it through my software that I have.
Can't pause it either. Okay.
To slow.
I'm gonna close it and then reload it, and maybe that let me
okay.
So let me reload it again. Now it's letting me pause. So now maybe it'll work. So give me a second. I don't know why it was doing that. It's weird. There we go. All right, I'm gonna make it bigger again and make sure it's turned up and see if you can hear it now.
Way that we can show
Hear
it
it?
here on the Zoom.
It's kind of low. Here, I'll mute and turn on my computer volume.
Sure.
Great.
Yeah, we'll
Let's take a look at.
if you'll present and I'll walk through it here. This clip here is I set it up just for the technology side of it. This was back in 2010, 11. Unfortunately, the camera equipment I had was 480p, so it's not high def. And I have run it through my software that I have, editing software, to stabilize it and to slow it down so it's easier to see. And so yeah, let's see if we can get this thing to work.
Okay, so we're seeing you're in the woods, obviously. The camera's pointing behind you. You can see your ear up on the top left-hand corner. Take us from there. What's going on?
All right, volume with that. We're good.
Actually, this is the end of the day. I'm walking out. This is in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. It's nowhere secret. It's a public place. This is a well-used trail. And I'm about a quarter of a mile away from the parking lot. And so I'm walking down this trail, and I've got the camera, facing backwards, as you can see. And as I walk by, and can you see my pointer?
Yes, I can. Yes,
Okay,
I can.
good. So over here on this side of the trail, this is a solid outcropping of granite or rock. And then this little blurry thing here, I just walked by, it begins to manifest. And it's blurry, and you could argue, well, that's just, the sunlight or shimmering leaves or whatever. But as I continue to walk away, we'll see here as we step through this, this thing begins to become more clear, and a event begins to happen around this sparkly thing of light. So as you can see, I'm walking away from this object, and it begins to form. And if I'll pause it here, if you notice, a bubble
Right.
begins to form right here.
And let me stop you there. It's a very definitive, clear circle.
Yeah.
You can see the line. You can trace the line with your cursor. I mean, it's like right there. You can see it. Something is happening that's not normal. Please continue.
Sure. And as I'm walking away, like I said, this is stabilized and in slow motion. It makes it easier to see. And now this thing in the center here, it's kneeling down. It's got arms and shoulders and a head, and you can start to see, especially right here, the event horizon,
the bubble,
is really starting to form. And then a little farther away, and again, now it's starting to really get defined. And I just thank the Lord I walked past it before it began to form. Because we don't know where it leads or where it was coming from. And the being, of course, inside this event, he begins to get a little sharper. Now this being never really becomes clear. And it's almost like when we get here, you could really see the edge. If I can stop it at you can really
see the edge. I mean, it's very plain, and it's not some sort of camera anomaly. Something is manifesting in this in this sphere. I mean, it's incredible footage.
Yeah, and like I said, this in here is almost like you're looking into water. Yeah, and I know a lot of people will harken back to TV shows, and Stargates, and so sometimes I wonder, did they have a little bit of inside knowledge that we didn't? Because they're all the predictive programming.
Well, it is. It's exactly what it is. It's getting everybody.
Terminator.
And right here is probably a really, really good shot of
It's a great shot.
The event forming.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the thing about it is, I'm walking.
It's the only question I have when I watch this video is, why is he filming the woods behind him while he's walking away?
He's walking backwards, right?
No. If you start at the picture at the very beginning, you see his ear, and that's his face. He's not walking backward. He's walking down this trail, but he's got the camera over his shoulder, like he's looking at behind him.
I'll just
instead.
stare right at that thing with my own eyeballs.
Yeah, it's interesting because it is a blurry circle right there. And you see it as he's going slow, walking. It's really interesting. I never even would have ever looked at any of my videos and stuff. I'd have to go back and look and see if there was anything weird in them or whatever. But
Does
he
he show it in regular speed?
I don't know. I haven't gotten to watch the whole video, but I just paused it because I wanted to
away from this
So,
event. If it
I want
was
to see it in regular
if it
speed.
was something to do with the camera and lights and angle, I'm changing the angle as I'm walking. So some pareidolia or some other effect, as soon as you change the light angles and my perspective to it, they should change. This thing should go away. It should fade. And instead of fading, it's actually getting sharper. So it was really just a eye opener.
And it's not moving. If it was some sort of camera anomaly, it would be bouncing up and down and moving left to right as you're walking, because you can see the camera's moving, but that circle is not moving. That circle is definitive. It's there. Something is coming through. It's very unnerving.
Yeah. I'm I feel very fortunate, to be honest with you, that this thing didn't come through and approach me. It just
And
stayed
it's
there and
becoming
watched.
sharper too. Look at it now. It's definitely sharper, I should say.
Of course, if I could stop it at the right moment. There we go. At this point, it's pretty sharp, and I've got some blow-ups, and they're very interesting blow-ups of the head and face. But you can see here the creature or the entity, whatever you want to call it, seems to be on its knees, and its hands are on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
You can see the shoulders and the head. It's got a shadow. That's the thing about it. It's actually throwing it's actually got shadow on its body from so it's a solid form. And it doesn't hardly move. At the very end, it shifts to the left, my left, its right, just a smidge. It's real hard to see, but you can see there. I'll just let it play on out. And I finally get farther away and then go around the corner. Right there, it moves.
It
just
moved
a little bit, but it's hard to
Yeah,
tell.
that's what he said. Whatever it was in there moved. But I just thought this was interesting because I never thought about
What's amazing is it just sits there. It's not, I mean, it's almost, I've heard stories like this. There was a woman up in Canada who had a house that was like on a farm type deal, and in front of the house was this huge open field, and her neighbor was about a mile away.
But
all right. And then behind the house,
one where it had an opening, something open up like that, just there out of somewhere else, you know what I mean? From someplace else. And to be able to actually see it. Now, the picture is pretty good because usually all this stuff is always so blurry. You can't see you can't make out anything, but you can definitely tell that there's something there because it's a perfect circle,
Mm-hmm.
And it's crisp around the edge. And there is definitely something in there. A human or a human-like form in there moving around. But what's interesting is when he said that it started when he had his phone, because he's walking along with it, right? And it's on videoing for some reason. And it's backward because he's walking away from it, and it captures that. But the thing is, it opens like right after he passes, like it was trying to open when he was there. And then when he realizes he can't get it, or he can't get this guy, or whatever, or for whatever reason they were supposed to be there. I wonder what they were doing. And if he saw it when it was happening, I think he would have went back and looked, but he didn't run because he wasn't afraid, because he didn't even see it until after he made the video. That's what I thought was so interesting about it, mostly. So, because
But
see,
then it goes back to what you were saying earlier. Why is he filming over his shoulder?
yeah, see, because I've gone to the trails. That's what I call it. There's a little area that's got a 5 mile thing. It's got a 4 mile, a 3 and 2 and 1. It's all these little trails with different things on it. Like one goes over a river creek thing, and then another goes over a lake area, part of the lake, and it's got little winding areas. Some of them is a dirt path. One's got a swinging bridge. They're all different little trails depending on what you want to go on. And when I've walked on ours quite a few times, maybe 3 miles or 2 miles, and I got my camera facing out, just of me going, just going along. I've never held it to where it's videoing me from behind. So now I do know a few people that wear their GoPro on, and they have one in the front and then one on their back and do that. But I've never seen someone hold their phone filming from behind. And I don't know why he did it. But when I was reading, it says the portal caught manifesting in the Smoky Mountains hiking, and a being in the center of it. This was in 2010 or 2011. Scott Carpenter recorded it and frequented L.A. Mazul's podcast covering the supernatural. A few months after this video, Scott passed away from a brain aneurysm.
Oh, that's weird.
So, yeah. So I just thought the whole thing was just really bizarre. So I followed these people, and I'm going to keep going back and see if I can find out. They're called No Weapon Formed.
But you've got this clip. Is there any way that we can?
And I'm going to copy his this link for this, and I'm going to share it in the chat because I think it's very, very interesting, the whole thing. And I'd like to know more about this story because we can't talk to him now. He's passed away. But anything else that he's been on, or who he shared, maybe more of this video, like you said, just the regular speed. You see, at the end, it's almost regular again. He's just walking along. But the fact of him holding it the way he was holding it, I mean, how many people have you ever met that walk holding their phone like that backward?
0.
That's what I'm saying. So that was the first thing that popped in my head, because I've watched lots of these bizarre videos of people showing stuff. But why he was walking with like that is, to me, is
unless it's like modern spycraft where they're pretending to take a picture of something in front of them, but they're actually looking. They're having the camera flipped around, so it's actually looking at them, and then they're actually watching people behind them.
Now, I've done that before. I'll be on my phone, like at a stadium, and somebody behind us was making weird noises or different things like that, or little pieces of popcorn were being thrown. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. I've turned my camera and made it so I could see who it was. I've done that.
The different situation walking through the woods by yourself.
Yeah. So I don't know. It was just, to me, that was the first thing that popped in my head. So I thought
he was. That's a good question, because I thought it was walking backwards the whole time.
No, because if you go back, I'm gonna show you real quick on here. I'm gonna go forward a little bit when he starts.
I believe you. We don't have to watch it again.
I know, but I just want you to see right here. See that on the corner?
That's
right
his
here?
shoulder and his ear. Yeah.
That's his ear, and that's the edge of his face, and that's his shoulder. So he's holding it, and he's walking forward, but he's filming it over his shoulder. So either he noticed that was something there, but he didn't run. See, if I saw something forming, because he said there was no sound, didn't hear anything, but you can see, like right through here, that there's a circle forming.
Yeah, it's not there yet.
No, but this is where he said he started seeing the shimmering right here, and that this was rock. This whole thing was rock. That's why he thought it was interesting how it just all of a sudden this hole's there from someplace else. And he doesn't act like he's real afraid or anything. He's not running from it, but he's filming it over his shoulder. So I just thought the whole thing was very interesting because I've never seen anything like it before.
Mm-hmm.
But I just wanted to share it because I thought it was
kind
of creepy.
I saw it in Terminator 1 and Terminator 2 where the portal opens and it expands from the middle and forms a circle.
Oh, that's a movie, though.
Right. And I've seen it.
Yeah, well, I'm talking about seeing a video or somebody else has made and posted it somewhere talking about, hey, look at this weird thing. But if they would, the first thing I would have asked them was, why were you walking with your camera like that? You know, what did you hear something? Was something back there that you were trying to watch? That's what I would like to know. But see, you can't ask.
And I'd like to watch it in regular speed.
Yeah, I'd like to watch it. I bet there is. I bet he's got the video somewhere. That's why I wanted to share that in the chat because I think that's. Oh, hi, Tommy. I'm sorry. I was so busy. I wasn't even looking at the chat. But hi, thank you for.
I saw him.
Yeah, I know you saw him, but he said, "Hey, Janet," and he's waving. So make sure you see it. But that was all I had. I just had those 5 things that I was going to talk about tonight because I usually the cosmic chat isn't very long, but I just wanted to talk about it, especially with the meteor shower and the new alien information being dropped. I thought that was pretty cool. But I hope that they keep doing it. I just hope they keep doing it. And, Bobert releasing some of her stuff. And I thought I had another video with our hold on. Let me look really quick in my chat here and see if I can find it real quick. It's a video with here it is. I didn't open it yet. Okay, it's Marco Rubio. So let me open this and then I'm going to share it with you because this is the one I was looking for in my notes. I just forgot to open the little tag so I can open it and share it with you guys. Okay. All right, here we go. Pause it and turn it up. It says the second most powerful person in the world, Marco Rubio, is telling us that a UAP are real and legit phenomenon that we need to look into. So here we go. Make sure it's turned up.
What's a conspiracy theory that you believe in? I'm asking both of you.
A conspiracy theory that I believe in. Well, it's not a conspiracy theory. Okay. And, but I have long been on this UAP thing. And now, I've sort of surrendered that portfolio to someone else who well, who's very much in charge of the UAP issue. Again, it's not, what I say is, I don't know who it is, I don't know what it is, but there are things flying over our military installation and they're not ours, and we should look into this, be serious about it. And I did that for a long time in the Senate, and it had 2 benefits. The first is that obviously it's a legitimate topic, and the second is, whatever the news of the day was, it was controversial, and a reporter comes up to you, and you say to them, look, I don't have time for these questions about politics. Do you realize there's things flying over airspace? We don't know what they are. And the reporter's like, oh, what do you know? Tell me more. So it was extraordinarily effective as a diversionary tactic in addition to. Now, that said, it's also a topic that we should be covering. So I don't call it a conspiracy. I don't know the answer to any of it. I'm just, asking the questions about, we should know what's flying over our airspace. But I don't think that's a conspiracy theory as much as it is just, it can be in some sense because people do believe we're covering something up. And I assure you, like in this administration, if we knew, like the president would be all over it. Like there would be, prime time address. He would, he'd be showing the pictures and the videos. But, Stephen's on that case now, and I think he's doing a great job.
There you go. Because I wanted to bring that up because a lot of people said exactly what you were saying, that it's a conspiracy theory. Everything is. They just do this and they do that to cover up that. And but that doesn't mean everyone does it. You see what I mean? You might think a lot of people do certain things, but you don't do it. So why would you think everyone else does do it? See, if you don't do it yourself, then why would you believe that everyone else around you does exactly opposite of you? See, I don't think it's that way. I think there's a few people that do use conspiracies or other things to get people to look the other way while they're doing something, because they're doing something wrong. They're doing something they're trying to hide, but not everyone does that, because I believe less people try to do that than that really do that.
They tried to say that about President Trump with, releasing the UFO stuff so he could cover up Venezuela.
Mm-hmm.
He did nothing to cover up Venezuela. As soon as the operation was done, he immediately got on the camera and started talking about it.
Mm-hmm. I know. That's what I'm trying to say. So
he wasn't expecting anything at all.
As each day goes by and there's a little bit more being released, a little bit more, and if people share it, because the news isn't going to, because of the Smith Modernization Act, they're not going to. They're just not. They don't have to, and we can't hold them accountable. We can't sue them. All they have to do is say, "Well, sorry," and that's it. And they just move on, and they don't give a shit.
You got it wrong. No, you lied. You lied.
Mm-hmm. So the thing is that as long as we talk about it, the people, and we can talk about it without being throttled or pushed down. I mean,
platform sued.
Yeah, I got demonetized, and they can't give me any reason. They just said that I post the same video over and over again. And if you go to my channel, show me where I've done that. I go to channels every day where you have two avatars talking blah, 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 blah about stuff. And if that's more repetitive than stuff I've done. So, I don't know how they're able to do that, but I can't. I don't know. I don't get it. But the thing is, do what?
Do you know what Tommy is talking about?
Oh, hold on. Let me see what this is. No, I didn't see it. After they shut down the large, after they shut down the collider, I've heard there's been a lot of weird stuff, but I thought it wasn't the fact that they shut it down, it's what happened during it. That's what I'm thinking. Something happened when they were running it.
I think some of us shifted to a different timeline.
Maybe it did. There's a lot of people doing a lot of things.
Fruit of the Loom had a cornucopia on it, and Dolly from Moonraker had braces. That was the whole reason that it was like, oh, she and oh my God.
Yeah, I talked about all that on my last. It was the one I did before this one, or the one before that one on my Cosmic Chat.
The Mandela effect, like some.
Yeah, the Mandela effect, and they had this kid that everybody was saying disappeared and all that. Well, I found the kid, and I found out that he's in college and all this different stuff, and then different things he was working on. So he didn't disappear. It's just that people didn't want to find him because they wanted to make it more of a conspiracy, So there's just a lot of stuff that you can look into. But just because it happened to that person doesn't mean it happened to everyone.
Yeah, Tommy's right on that one too.
It might have just been a certain area that was affected, or it was a blip in a certain group of people's timeline. You see what I mean?
They were opening black holes. That's what they were doing with the LHC. Well, not the only thing they were doing, but that was one of the things.
They were doing a lot more than that. I think it had to do with demons, my personal belief. But, a lot of people think I'm a nuts because I said that, but that's okay. I don't care if people think I'm nuts or not nuts or whatever. That's fine too, because I believe that people have the right to believe what they think something, might be or might not be. But we also have, to me, we have to keep looking. We can't just say, oh, well, that's what it is. There's nothing I can do about it.
Sure.
Just give up instead of trying to find more information about something.
I believe that alien life exists. What is it? I think Planck's constant, like when you think about grains of sand on a beach, and there's trillions of them. You know, one of them has this microbe on it. There has to be that same microbe somewhere else on the beach too, right?
Yeah, you think there would be.
It's like in like a controlled system. Yeah, I do believe there's got to be life out there. As far as, you know, multicellular life, then we start getting into more and more variables. The chances of those things happening decrease. And I can basically point to the amount of species that we've had on this planet, this lush environment that we've had for hundreds and hundreds of millions of years. I think what the Earth is 4 billion years old. And, you know, Precambrian era, a lot of stuff looked kind of the same, but it started evolving, started changing, and lots of different things needed to happen in order for those things to change. We've been hit by asteroids. I believe Chicxulub is real.
Comets. We've been hit by comets.
Well, the Chicxulub impact crater between North and South America. I 100% believe it is real. The meteor that killed off the dinosaurs caused, you know, the basically nuclear fallout across the entire planet, and species just couldn't survive until something did survive. And that thing turned into something else because of something else that happened. And all of these very specific things needed to happen in order for you and me to be sitting here talking to each other in different places. As far as technology on other planets getting to where we are, it's like diminishing returns. Like, percentage of this is going to happen. Okay, fine. Percentage of this is going to happen. Then you start reducing the chance of that happening. Is it possible? Yes. Anywhere near us? Extremely doubtful. Douglas Adams wrote A Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy and Restaurant at the End of the Universe.
Yeah.
He has a quote in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. He says, space is big. Like really big. Like really, really big. It is just so incredibly huge, you won't believe just how big it is. For reference, our closest star, which has nothing viable near it, is Proxima Centauri, and it's 4.6 light years away. It's 40 trillion kilometers away, and there's nothing there. To cover that distance, which means we would have to be traveling at the speed of light to get to where it is. Now, if there's that wormhole theory, and that's actually a thing that can be used, you don't know where you're going. In order to find a location, you have to have a map. And in order to find a map in a 3-dimensional space, you need 6 points of reference. Actually, 7 points of reference. You need the top, bottom, left, right, front, and back, which are the 6. And then you need something in the middle, which is point of origin. You can't do that through a wormhole. You can't map something as small as Earth on a universal scale and just pick a random wormhole and then bam, there you are. The time it takes.
Because you could end up in the middle of the ocean or in the middle of solid rock.
Or in the middle of Sagittarius A, the giant black hole in the middle of our galaxy. Like, you don't know where it's going to go.
The middle of the planet Earth, right? Where, you know, in molten lava.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why it's important to know where it's going to open.
Right.
So you would have to have technology. If what we just saw in that other video was an opening of some type of portal, you know, to somewhere else, they would have to know what was on the other side of it, or somebody who had to have known to want to open it there. But
how do you open it? Like, that's
what I'm saying. I don't know. The technology, it would be way more advanced than us, I think, to be able to have that and to know where.
I don't think is ever going to exist.
See, that's what I'm saying. I don't know. I had my last cosmic chat that I did was with Christopher Moore. His father was a doctor, the president's doctor for 2 different presidents. And he thinks that there's no such thing as aliens. He thinks the only technology we have is what we've made ourselves. And that they let people, they let people just, and he's worked for the government too. He's one of the people that's been going back and forth with Senator Johnson, going to testify and stuff like that, and get other people to go testify for the COVID stuff and digging stuff up. He's been on my show a couple times, him and Dawn, talking about COVID, the spike protein, how different things she's found. She's got 7 patents in the works right now for supplements and stuff to help you clean your body.
I remember that podcast.
Okay, I've had her on multiple times, and I've lost a couple of those shows because they said it was medical misinformation, even though we didn't say we were doctors, and we said she did it in her own kitchen, and it was her own finger that she was poking, and Christopher's blood too. So different stuff like that. That's another reason why YouTube doesn't really like me that much, but that's fine too. I don't care if I'm ever monetized. I pay to do this. Actually, I pay monthly to have this app so I can broadcast stuff that I think is interesting, fun, because this is my social life right here, what I'm doing. And I enjoy doing it. And I don't go anywhere. I don't go out. I don't date. I don't do nothing. I just do this. This is my life, and I enjoy doing it. I've met some really cool people doing it. It's a lot of fun.
I appreciate you saying that about me.
Well, you're welcome. But, and if I hadn't tried it out or gotten to a place in my life where I need to do something else, I never would have met any of these people. So I'm thankful that I've done it. I'm now
COVID.
I get to play Dungeons and Dragons. I get to play, I've done some really good things. Ruben was on the show last Friday.
Okay.
His girlfriend, the real pretty blonde that he had for a while, she passed away. And he went to her service, and it took some stuff that he had from her apartment stuff to her 2 kids and things like that. He's about to be moving to Texas. I don't know exactly where in Texas, but to Texas to stay with his brother for a little while, because his brother had a stroke, and he's recovering, and his son has some illness too. So he's going to go and help be the brother and be the uncle. So, but he's doing well. I mean, he's done really well with himself. He's lost a lot of weight. He's slowly getting better on his own, doing his own things for himself. And he's come a long way since I met him.
Well, good.
Ruben. And he's got a Substack. He's got a Substack he's got a bunch of poetry and some other stuff that he's done that he did for his girlfriend, the one who passed away. And, he's been really busy, and hopefully things will get really better with him going and being with his brother and helping out there. So hopefully
Wasn't she in her 20s?
Huh?
Wasn't she in her 20s?
No, she was I think in her late 30s. Now, he met her years ago. Remember, he met her when she was in her late 20s. And they were passing.
He was converting to Judaism for her?
No, that was a different one. This is a different girl. The other one, the real pretty blonde, that other one was a brunette, and she was so. And I think he still spends a lot of time talking to her and stuff too. But the girl that he moved in with and that moved in with him.
I don't know about that one.
Well, okay, well, he's had a lot of stuff going on, so he's doing well. He's doing okay. I think he's going to be okay. So once he gets there to help take care of his brother, help his brother out, we'll see how it goes. But I've been just doing this same stuff. I do a show normally on Wednesday. I do Replay Wednesday, where all the times I've had my channel taken down, I couldn't air anything. So anything Bruce and I did on his channel, I've been re-airing on my own channel, because I would have aired it if I hadn't had my channel taken down, or it was 2 years of movie reviews and stuff like that we did that I didn't air because I didn't do this yet. So I've been doing that. And then, at every other or every third Wednesday, I do Cosmic Chat, or I do the Late Night Circus, depending on my topic. So And then Thursday night I do after hours, and Friday I do Friday night shit show, and Saturday I play all day long. Start at 12:30. For 6 to 8 hours we play Bruce's games, his 2 games. He's got 2 different ones. And then on Sunday we do our movie review.
Mm-hmm.
And then on Monday night I play a game with Bear. He's writing his own game. So that's it. And then Tuesdays, it's my own day. I do whatever, usually mow or do whatever around my house. So that's it. That's basically all I do. And work whenever you can fit it in here and there. And, you know, I've missed a few shows here and there because I've had to do other things. But, you know, that's usually my schedule. So, yeah, I heard you went through a lot of things and you seem to be doing better. Are you?
I had 2 hernias this year, which is not fun. And
but you had surgery for it, right?
Not for the hernia, no. I had surgery for cancerous polyps in my behind that were causing blockage. And diverticulitis runs in the family, which I didn't know. And my mother helped out so much during that.
That's what moms are for.
Yeah. Huh?
That's what moms are for.
Yeah.
To help our kids.
But like my grandfather on her side died of it. Her sister died of it. Several cousins have had diverticulitis. I'm like, I never knew, you know. And there was some blockage, which they removed, and then I sweated for like 2 weeks while they were doing a biopsy on it. And they're like, and after like 10 days, I went, if it were serious and, you know, metastatic, they would have called me, right? Like, since there's no rush on this, it's probably okay. And then, you know, 4 days later, they called me and told me, no, it's all good. Come in, you know, we'll talk about it. And they gave me a piece of paper and, you know, what I have to do for the next year of my life. And yeah, it was non-metastatic, but still, that's scary.
Yeah.
So I had because there may be a recurrence, and there was damage. They removed that part of my colon and stitched me back together, and then I had the ostomy bag, and the reversal of the ostomy has been kind of a nightmare. I decided to do too much too soon and tore a part of my bottom right abdominal muscle, which is what they had to cut through. And they stitched that back together. That kind of broke apart. And that stress caused a hernia right at the surgical site. So there's like another 3 months of not being able to do anything. Like you can walk for 10 minutes. And then, you know, you need to take it easy. You can't bend over past, you can't put your elbows past your waist. You can't bend that far back. Like, this is like, what if I drop something? They're like, you know, you squat down and try to hold yourself on a counter or something. I'm like, great. How about dog poop?
Just leave it there. Somebody can come over and pick it up for you.
You can't be walking your dog for more than 10 minutes. It's just a nightmare. So then I started going back to the gym after those 3 months and got another hernia because I'm stupid and I don't listen well.
Yeah. Well, most men are like that.
Yeah, that's been this entire year.
As soon as you feel like, oh, I feel better today, and even though the doctor said give yourself 2 more weeks or 3 more weeks or whatever, you'd say, well, I feel better today, and you start to do something, and you go, oh, I pulled a muscle. You know.
Other really cool stuff has been happening. I dislocated my shoulder in 2015, and now that's bothering me again. I've got epicondylitis in my left elbow.
What's that?
But it's like tennis elbow, like chronic tennis elbow. So, like picking up the cast iron pan with my left hand and trying to lift it up and move it to a different burner, like stretching it causes a lot of pain. Like if I squeeze right around where my elbow is, it causes pain. My right knee, I had an injury to years ago. That's being kind of a pain in the butt right now. So I'm just falling apart.
Well, but you seem like you're starting to, trying to get back to a normal life, which is good because a lot of people just lay down and they just give up. You know what I mean? When they get to have too many times they butted their head, they just say, oh, well, I quit. And you just sit down and it just goes downhill. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
you seem
I'm not getting better. I'm going downhill. More and more things are going wrong, but I'm still here.
Well, you seem like you're still trying to do something. You're still trying to get better, right?
Well, pretty much all I'm doing these days is light workout I've got 2 10-pound weights. That's about it. I'm not going to be working out my core because I can still feel it around the cervical site from the ostomy reversal. It's tight.
Yeah.
And I'm going to wait until it's no longer tight.
Well, wait until your doctor says, okay, I give you 100%.
That's what he said.
Working out.
You still feel tightness. Don't engage your core that much. Like you could do a couple of like really easy sit-ups, but don't go to it. And he gave me this whole list of things that I can't do. Like I can't do butterflies, where you hold your arms out and bring them together. Like I'll lay on my back on my bed with the 10-pound weights and just do butterflies or do push-ups. He's like, no, because that's going to engage your core too much. So just
listen to your doctor. Give your body a chance to heal up.
It's been almost a year since
some people heal faster than others. It just depends on what you have. I mean,
yeah, I was healing like crazy. Like you have no idea how fast I was healing during all of the other nonsense. And then this year in January, I got sick and had to go back in the hospital again. And then since then, my Wolverine healing factor has not been engaged. Like any other illness, like I said, things are starting to fall apart, which haven't been an issue for a long time. Like the tennis elbow, like that went away. Like I had it real bad when I was working for the Moon Company. My right shoulder hasn't bothered me for like a decade, and now it's starting to bother me. My knee hasn't bothered me since 2018, and now my knee's starting to bother me. Just one thing after another.
Well, and plus we're getting older. Each year you're getting a little older, so it's going to be a little longer to heal than before. That's normal.
Yeah, but last year it was like just, boom, boom, boom. Like this, like, wow, you're healing really fast. My doctors were saying like, this is actually kind of incredible.
That was something different. That was a different illness. So maybe your body does better at that illness healing than it does on the other one.
Yeah.
I mean, I went to the doctor because my ankle kept swelling. And years ago, when I was in high school, I broke the clutch off of a motorcycle with my knee because it jumped up and then I fell and it landed on the clutch landed on my knee on the ground. And man, my knee hurt so bad. It swelled up and I had to cut all my jeans and do all this different stuff. Well, over time, I started getting better. The swelling went down. I was able to do stuff. But through the years, depending on how much climbing stairs or long drives where my knee is bent and just sit there, I'd have problems and my knee would swell up. And the doctor would say, you have water on the knee. And they'd be wanting to stick needles in it. I said, no, it's not that. And they never could get water off my knee because I had no water. It was just swollen tendons and tissue because of my ligament damage and stuff from when I hurt my leg. Well, I guess I injured one of my blood vessels in my leg, the one that runs behind your knee. It's one of not my major one, but one of the other.
Not the femoral artery.
No, not that one, but the one next to that one, I guess. There's another one because your body's got thousands of veins in it. I didn't even realize it. But I went to the doctor because I said, I'm working out, I'm doing all this stuff, and I hardly eat any bread. I've cut out almost all gluten. I'm doing all these things to my allergies, and my ankle's swelling up. So she's looking at it. She's like, this isn't good. Because my foot was starting to turn a little bit purple, things like that.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it was scary, but my foot didn't hurt. It didn't hurt at all. That's what was really weird to me.
Yeah, but when it's a different color than the rest of your body, it's a problem.
Well, she asked me if I twisted my ankle or what, and I said, no, not that I can think. I can't think of anything I did. So she sent me to a vein specialist, like, an hour drive away from where I was at. So I went and they did like a sonogram where they went up and down my vein or whatever, my leg. And they said that the valves weren't working, that I had some kind of damage where my valves were just kind of like, the blood was just pulling in my vein. So he told me that the doctor said, well, there's different procedures we can do for it. And he said, the one I like is what he said he liked, is that they have this foam. It's like, it looks like shaving cream, because he was showing it. He put some on my hand, let me look at it and stuff. And he said, but it's biodegradable. Your body will absorb it. It's made, he was telling me different things that it was made of. And he said, we'll go in and we'll prep you up and we'll get a needle. We'll inject this into your vein and we'll push it down towards your ankle, and it will fill that whole vein in and all the little veins that go to it, and force any blood that's going down there to other veins, healthier veins, and make the blood go to the other veins instead of pooling in the vein that was not working well. So I said, all right. And he said, or we can do that, or we can strip it out, pull it out, which could cause more damage because we don't know, which veins they are. So he tried to show me some pictures and stuff. So I allotted to do the foam thing. But what was weird was when I went in, they held my leg up, and then he gave the injection, and the girl did the sonogram part to watch it. And he said, wow, your vein's taking this really well. He said, it's doing great. So it kind of stung a lot, but it didn't hurt or anything. Just kind of had a stinging sensation. Then he wrapped my leg with this giant ace bandage. I mean, so tight. It was almost like I felt like my leg was going to fall off, and all the way to my ankle. And then I had to wear that for 2 weeks. So I couldn't take baths or anything. And so when I took a shower, do what?
I said, I'm sure you looked terrible in a bikini.
Oh yeah, I didn't wear a bikini anyways, but I wore a whole piece anyways. But so it was just a pain in the ass to do it. But then after he took the bandage off, he said I had to wear a thigh high, like funny hose that held my leg, really stiff, where it kept it constricted.
Yeah.
So I ordered
compression socks.
Yeah, compression, but they're thigh high. So I ordered a set of those, and I had to wear them. Man, trying to put those things on was freaking hard as hell. And it took me a while, but I started getting used to it. And he told me I couldn't go to the gym. I couldn't work out. I couldn't do a bunch of different stuff. So that sucked, because I did it every other day. I went to the gym. So I had to find other exercise where I could do everything, my normal exercise, except my leg. I couldn't do anything to it because he didn't want me to hurt that, to make sure that vein didn't get any blood in it. He was trying to get it to my body to reabsorb it or something. He said, your body will slowly absorb that dead vein as it's forcing the other blood to the other ones. And it worked because I'm working out now, back to normal. Now I don't have any pain at all on my leg at all. And I hardly have any swelling at all. He said I will have swelling for a while, every so often, depending on the exercises that I do and stuff, as my body adjusts to the new vein or whatever, new veins where the blood's going. But it's just amazing. Medical technology is just really amazing. I really am thankful that
they use Da Vinci on me. You know Da Vinci?
Yeah.
They use that on me for my surgery. What do you mean how?
I mean, Da Vinci is the guy, the pilot, right?
No, it's a robot. It's a surgical robot, and it's also a learning.
I don't know.
Hey, Keely Chap, have you ever you remember Empire Strikes Back when they capture Han Solo and torture him?
Yeah.
That machine that they put him on is kind of what Da Vinci looks like. It's got all these little probes and arms and stuff on it, and each of the arms does all these.
It's like a med bed.
Yeah.
So you got to use one of them?
I didn't get to use it. I got to see it a couple of times before they knocked my ass out. But
they didn't use it on you? Or
yes,
they put
yeah,
you on one? Oh, see, then you did get to use it. I don't think they had anything.
They didn't let me play with it, Janet.
Where I went.
They used it. I just laid there unconscious.
So, well, they used it on you.
Yes, that's correct.
Good. That's amazing. Yeah, I've got a couple of friends that have been bragging about these awesome med beds and how it's going to really advance medical technology.
Well,
the
crazy thing is that they will, once the surgery is done properly, even if it's a different human, the Da Vinci learns that this is the proper procedure, and they have doctors that are so good at using this, and it's like they put little control pads on each of the doctor's fingers, and he manipulates different things with the robot arms, and they can go in there with a scope, they can go in there with tweezers, they can go in there with a scalpel, they can go in there with laser scalpels, like all of this insane stuff. And when it's done properly, Da Vinci remembers. So if there's a doctor trying to do the same operation and he might not be doing it properly, Da Vinci will correct the doctor. So it may get to some point where the Da Vinci has, and it shares it globally. It is a wired network.
Can I ask you a question about it?
Sure.
Did they videotape your surgery using the bed for so other people can see how the bed works and things like that for study for the hospital or whatever?
I guarantee they have video, not necessarily of me, because the doctor I eventually wound up going to, I went to 3 different doctors. I found this guy. He had the scene from Commando where Dutch is stepping through the traps and looking up, and he's got the giant M16 with the grenade launcher barrel below it. He had that on the back of his phone. And I went, I think I could be friends with this guy. And then we started chit-chatting.
And funny how we find things like that about our doctors or our nurses or other healthcare professionals, and we're like, yeah, I like this person simply because their phone cover or a shirt might be wearing.
But that's what started it. We started chit-chat, and he was like, so anyway, we actually have to talk about medicine now. I was like, that's great. But he told it to me straight, and the other 2 really didn't. There was like,
that's why I like the doctor I ended up going to, because he was to the point and precise and explained exactly what he was going to do and how he was going to do it and why he needed to do it. And I love that. I just wish more.
I have my stupid jokes and we could talk about movies. Great.
I know it's great. I feel so lucky because I have such a good doctor. Well, she's not really a doctor. She's a practicing nurse. And I've been seeing her for like 5 years. And I just call her on the phone and say, hey, I think I have another sinus infection or whatever. And she'll say, well, we can do a over the phone appointment or whatever, because I've had allergies since she's known me. I don't get the shots anymore. I'm all finished with all my shots. And she just asks questions, and she's just really, she has really good bedside manner, and I feel very lucky to have her listen to me, and she knows me well.
My bowel resection went great. The nurses afterwards could not have been better. Like top notch. This is like A+, 100%. You nailed the whole job. You made me feel comfortable. If there was an issue, can help me. When I had the reversal, it was pretty much everything that could go wrong went wrong. The power went out in the tower that I was in. And I was on the 9th floor. The other floors maintain a stable AC. But on the 9th floor, it didn't. the AC malfunctioned when it rebooted or whatever, and we couldn't get the air to go into the rooms. And I was in 930, and I went, I'm dying here. Like, I'm supposed to be resting. I'm supposed to be healing up, and I can't. It's 87 degrees. I need to get out of here. You got to put me in another room. They're like, oh, we can't really do that. Like, but there's 2 empty rooms on the floor. Like, I walk around, I can see there's no one in these rooms. Like, well, we have to reserve those in case other patients come by. I'm like, right. So let's think about this logically. You can put me in that room until a new patient shows up, then wheel my ass back to my room, right? Does that make sense to you? And they went, oh, we can't do that. And that started at 8 p.m. At 4 in the morning, I am in the hallway with just sitting under the air vent because I'm like, I can't.
You're dying.
Like, do you even know what the temperature is in there now? And they're like, well, you said it was 87. I go, well, look at the temperature. Go look right now. And they went and looked, and they're like, it's 94. And I said, I can't be in there. I will literally die.
They finally move you?
Yes, Charlene. I remember her name because she's an angel.
Good.
She called down to the ward nurse, and the ward nurse said, no, we have to reserve these other rooms in case we get patients. The other room was at 67 degrees.
Yeah, so why didn't you just say, well, you can reserve the room I'm in for someone else and let me have that?
I said, go put me in one of these rooms, then you have a free room over there. Like, what is the problem here? They said, oh, we can't do that. And then Charlene went, you know what? You can't sit in the hallway this whole time. You're not going to be able to sleep. And we get, you know what? Let's go. You go get in your bed. I'll wheel you out. I'll get the other nurse. And then the nurse is like, but the ward nurse said, and she's like, shut up. Shut up. He can't be in a 94-degree room. And then they moved me into the room. And I passed out almost immediately.
When you got cooled off?
Yeah. Like I said, like all of the other rooms were between 75 and 80 degrees, and mine was 94. And I wasn't even in there. Like I generate a lot of heat, but it was getting that hot without me even in there. So that's another major thing that went wrong. I woke up at 8 in the morning to a nurse scratching her nails across my surgical site.
Oh.
I just had surgery less than 24 hours prior. There was a bandage over it. The reason she did this is because she got those like 2-inch poo fingernails. And she was reaching across the bed to grab.
She has to grab everything sideways like that so she doesn't scratch.
No, she did scratch because she reached across the bed to grab my arm, which was by my side with the armband on it. And she was going to take my vitals, but she can't do that until she scans. So she reaches across, grabs it, and her poo fingernails are hanging down and scratch across my surgical site. And I wake up screaming. And she's like, oh, I'm sorry, baby. I'm sorry, Prince. I'm so sorry about that. I'm like, great, fine. Thank you. How's my blood pressure? Oh, it's really high. I wonder how that happened. And yeah, I was really rude because she damaged me. And then a couple hours later, and I swear to God, I'm not making any of this up. It's in the report too. I filed a report.
Mm-hmm.
I wake up again and I feel wetness. And I think I've wet myself. I think I've peed in my sleep. And I reach down there, nope. And I feel my side and it's slick. And then I feel my back and it's slick. And I pull my hand back and it's just covered in blood.
That's
and
scary.
I was like, oh, button. Like hitting the button. Hello. 5 minutes go by. No one comes by. They turn my button off. They just turn it off. Like the alert is supposed to be outside the door. There's a little light that says this patient needs help or whatever. They turn it off. So I hit it again. Nothing happens. I call 911 and tell them the hospital I'm in, and they redirect me to emergency. And I tell emergency what's happening. And she's like, and you press the button? I said twice. And she goes, give me a minute. Stay on the line. So I stay on the line and she calls the ward nurse. And the ward nurse is like, yeah, hello. And she says, you have a patient in this room bleeding out. Go now. And she's like, well, I mean, I can't just leave the desk. There might be other patients. She said, leave the desk. And just like start screaming at the ward nurse. Leave now. You have a patient bleeding out now. Go. And she gets there a couple of minutes later. She's like, oh, I'm sorry about that. I'm not supposed to leave the desk. I was like, yeah. And she removes the bandage and there's just blood just starts streaming down my belly. And she starts mopping up. She's like, oh dear. Oh, I'm so sorry about this. I'm so sorry about this. I was like, yeah, can I get like new bed sheets and a new gown, please? And she's like, oh yeah, right.
Stop the bleeding. What was it?
It's from a scratch. She tore open the wound.
Well,
So that was a
they fixed
nightmare.
it, right? They got it all fixed back up.
Yeah, they eventually got more people in there and I was released. I had to stay that day, but I was released the next day.
Good. I'm glad you're doing better. It was really nice having you hang out with me for a little bit. It's been a while. It's been a long time.
It has.
Been a long time. But I guess it's after what? It's after 11. Wow.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Yeah, I had to start a little late because I have ducks now. I have baby ducks. Well, they're not duck babies now. They're getting bigger. And I have chickens. And today, after 5:30, I opened the doors so they could go out for the first time in since they were, I got them. Because they're, the little chickens are about this big now.
Mm-hmm.
And I got 2 Polish with their little, crazy hair or feathers on their head. And my daughter bought me a bag so I can put my chicken in. It's got a thing for the legs to go through and stuff. So the next time I go to you walk around, town, a little festival or whatever, I'm going to take my little Polish. If she lives, I don't want to name her, but I've already picked out a name for her, but I don't want to call her that or hold her because she comes to me now. She's got like bluish legs. They're really pretty. She's almost solid white, and I just really like her. So I'll have to get some pictures. I brought her and held her a few times doing live stream when, like when we're doing a gaming, in between my turn, I'd go out and check their water or whatever, and pick her up and hold her. But I want her to be gentle. So,
well,
trying
that
to
you like chickens so much, I think I have to share this with you.
Okay.
Hang on, let me. Oh, no, that's not what I wanted to do.
Yeah, I put a lot of my videos on my thing too, on my channel.
Why is it doing this? No, I'm here. Yeah, do that and do that. That was weird. I don't know. StreamYard's been trying to screw these days.
Yeah, you should be able to. There you go. Now I can see it. Okay, here we go. Oh, yeah, I love these videos. They're so funny, these girls.
I don't think you're gonna get a strike for me because it's only like this.
Well, I'll just take it off. I don't think it will. They didn't get one. That's a little silky.
Yeah, this is silky.
Psycho killer.
And that's a Polish. With the
This is my favorite one.
well, I've seen this one. It's so funny.
Huh?
I've seen this one.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Oh. Huh?
You can have fun with chickens.
Yeah. But it's just a bunch of college girls hanging out.
I know, but they're just funny.
Let me go hang upside down.
Here's another Polish right here.
Bienvenidos a la cripta. Dame tu cosita.
Me miro y la miré. Sonrío y la sonreí.
I think you go with the black hair right there.
Y yo la invité a bailar. Y ella me dijo que sí.
The girls are just doing a remix.
Huh?
The girls are remixing the chicken videos by pretending to be the chickens themselves.
Yeah.
That's what's so funny about it. It's because it's two different people's videos put together. It's when you remix, that's what you get. But the one I really love and why it made me want to get a Polish was a couple years ago. It was a black Polish chicken, and someone said, "I look Puerto Rican with this hair." Whatever. It was so cute. I just fell in love with it. And I'm gonna get me a Polish because I used to have silkies. I love silkies too. I think the little furry ones, the ones that look like they have emu feathers.
Mhm.
That is a silky, and they're small little bantams, and I just love them. A lot of people have them in apartments and stuff, and they just have diapers you can buy, and you blow dry them and everything. And a lot of people have them, and then they'll lay you an egg, every couple days, and you can eat it for breakfast. So, because they're exotic, and when people buy them for exotic pets. But what's best? There's nothing wrong with having a little, silky as a pet at home. I think they're great.
I have a puppy dog. She probably wouldn't like that too much.
Well, I have a puppy dog now. Her owner passed away, and when I went to Texas, this was like almost over a year ago now. Well, almost in like another month, it'd be a year. He died, and his daughter already had 2 beagles, and this is a 14-year-old poodle, right? And a small one, but she's like, I already have that. And my dogs have both died, so they're like, why don't you take her? And I was like, oh, okay. So I ended up bringing her home. And she's starting to, kind of like me a little bit, but she likes my daughter a lot better. Even though I'm the one that feeds her most of the time and takes her to the beauty shop and do all that stuff. So, but
what's a guinea fowl? What is?
Well, I don't like guineas because they're so noisy, and they're just.
That's
really
racist. You can't say that about Italians.
They look like they're kind of roundish looking. They don't look like chickens. They're kind of like, from a distance, it's just a head with a circle body, and they're black and white and gray mixture with speckles and stuff, and they're just really noisy. They just constantly make noise, and a lot of people don't like you to have them. Like a lot of towns don't want you to have a rooster because it crows all day long. People say, oh, they only crow in the morning, but they don't. They crow all day long. They're very irritating. And I have 4.5 acres, so I've got 2 roosters now. They're not big yet. They're still small, because after I lost my my big rooster, my hens were going, because fox and possums, raccoons, cats, dogs, hawks, owls, just take them out without a rooster around. So I've had to get 2 more now. I think I have 2 roosters this time, and they'll be friends with each other because they grew up together. So, and they'll sacrifice themselves to save the girls.
Yep.
And that's what I need.
That's what the men are supposed to do.
Yep. And my last rooster, boy, I loved him. He was such a good rooster. I really miss him. But oh well, that's why it's hard when you live out like I do to get attached to them. Like, I'm trying not to name any of these girls or anything, because I'll take them with me to the because I had a little rooster that was a little I don't know what they called it. It was solid black, and he had that like purple green hue iridescent off his feathers. It was so pretty. And I had taught him how to walk on a leash. And I would go to these little downtown street festival things where they sell food, and people just walk around and stuff. I'd go down into the town and do that and take my chicken on a leash and walk them around. And whenever I had a rooster or something that would hatch out that I didn't want, that's what I would do. I'd train them to do that. And I'd just take them down there, and there'd be a lot of teenagers and college students and stuff. They go, "Oh, look at that. It's so cool." And I said, "Well, do you want them?"
I'd be nervous about dogs.
So they'll say, "Well, what do I do?" And I said, "Nothing. If you live in the city limits, you can't have the rooster because he'll crow. But if you live outside the city limits and you just want a rooster that's gentle, that'll come and sit on your lap, or you can hold, or you can walk on a leash, and people will go, 'Wow, look at that. It's so cool.'" Then, I'm trying to get him home. And they go, "Yeah." So, and they're little because he's not very big. He's a Bantam. So he's a really small rooster, but really pretty. And, one that'll sit on you and put his head under your arm and sleep and stuff like that because I spoiled.
Mm-hmm.
But roosters don't lay eggs. So I'd rather have a hen. But enough about my chickens.
That you said that you need a rooster to keep the riffraff out.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you're lucky. But yeah, guinea fowl eat ticks, but so do chickens. And I love it because I got one video on my channel on Jana's Chicken Ranch or whatever. And I'm calling them, "Come on, girls, let's go. I'll get you a snack. You want a snack?" And they'll come running, down there. And then I'll put some grain down and stuff for them and talk to them and give them water and stuff. And it's like a whole herd of raptors running toward you. That's what it looks like, if you think about it, because, you can tell. When you watch Jurassic Park and you see some of them running with the little short little arms, and you can buy arms now. These little arms that lay on the back of your chicken and makes them look like they got muscle arms or whatever, holding a purse, all kinds of stuff. You can do all kinds of stuff like that. So maybe I should do stuff like that. Maybe YouTube would like something, I always, sometimes I'll make a video and just say YouTube friendly content because I know they hate most of my stuff. So like, oh, well.
How dare you talk about things they don't want you to talk about?
I know. They hate that.
Subject
That's all right. But what's funny is the one show they absolutely hate, which is a Friday Night Shit Show or the Thursday night show. I have, one night I had over 9,000 people.
Oh my gosh. That's
watching
amazing.
me. And I get a lot of trolls, a lot of hate, a lot of death threats, things like that. But I'm going to still do it. So I had one guy, he posted on my channel. Oh God, I remember him. It was on Mother's Day. It was after Mother's Day when I saw it. And he said, "Happy Mother's Day, Janet. It's a shame I can't understand a word you say with Trump's dick in your mouth." And shit like that. I get shit like that all the time. So they just hate me. And it's the politics part. And when I say anything about it, they say, "Well, you shouldn't do politics. You don't want to get the hate." And I'm like, well, I'm going to do it. So
I think that really shows who they are. Like that's that side.
They were a liberal.
There are MAGA people that do it too. Yes, I agree. That happens. However, all of the Democrats behave that way. I have yet to see one that is not hostile, argumentative, or says these like awful things to other people.
Well,
yeah. And it's been 10 years. Been 10 years. They all are hostile, rude, aggressive, and it just gets worse as time goes on.
To me, it's like they hate their lives. They look in the mirror every morning and say, "I hate you, I hate you, I hate you," constantly or something. They're just miserable. They just seem
they probably, because they're all drugged up, they look in the mirror and go, "I'm the best person on the planet. I'm so much better than these other people. I'm so great." It's narcissistic nonsense. Well, you're wrong. Okay, how? Because I said so. That's not enough for me. Like, can we have a conversation? No. Fuck you. Okay.
Yeah.
You are exactly who I knew you to be.
If they don't want to listen to me, they just go to the next channel. I mean, to me, I don't understand that. That's the thing.
Because they get off on it.
If they don't like what I say, then just don't listen to me. It's not going to make me cry. I'm not going to cry.
That's the goal. This is who they are. They revel in death. They're like,
guess.
God, I really wish Trump would have been murdered.
Yeah, I know. I've
That's
heard a
not
lot
an
of
okay thing to say. What is wrong with you? Oh, I'm glad Charlie Kirk got it right in the neck. And people went to Halloween going, with the T-shirt.
I know.
And the
I
blood
saw that.
and with
Terrible.
the little marker dot on their neck. These are bad people. Like there's no redeeming qualities if that's how they behave. And they're like, oh, if the bullet was only 2 more inches to the right, we would have a free nation without Trump.
What's funny is these people, a lot of the same people that say those things say, get rid of the cops. I hate cops. I don't want cops around or this, that, and the other. And then they'll say, I need to call 911. And I'm like, well, the ambulance won't come if there's no cops. Well, why not? Well, what if you were shot? The ambulance can't put their paramedics at risk to go in a place where it's hostile and they don't have police to protect them. They're not going to go there.
The scene needs to be secured.
Get rid of the cop.
Right.
You have no paramedics or firemen because they're not going to risk their lives to go in there and get shot at.
I've seen the body cam footage of Section 8 housing where this horrible thing happens in this neighborhood. They call the police. Or, someone else calls the police that wasn't involved. Like, the gunshots, they're stabbing or whatever. The police show up. They're trying to secure the scene, but every single person in that entire development comes outside and goes to yell at the police, like, where's the ambulance? Where's the ambulance? It's not amber lamps. It's ambulance. Where it at? Where it at? It can't come until we secure the scene. Everyone needs to go back in their houses. Well, you can't tell us what to do. Well, then you're not getting the ambulance. Like this is the way.
I have relatives that are bid firemen and paramedics, and people just don't want to understand that without the police, these people aren't coming. So when you have a really bad neighborhood that's very dangerous, that's why it takes 30 minutes to an hour for an ambulance to come. Yeah. Or you have to get in your own car and take them to the emergency room because you can't expect a paramedic that's been trained to save lives to come running in with an AK-47 and shoot up someone. That isn't going to happen. So that if you guys want to feel safe, make it safe.
D&D, it's like you have the warrior and the rogue up front. And they're trying to take care of the situation. They're like, we need the healer. Healer, run in. And the healer goes, okay. And then the monster just kills the healer immediately.
Yep. And then everyone dies because there's no one to heal you.
Yeah. Good job.
So it's just stupid. But see, that's why most of these kids need to learn how to play Pathfinder or something. And then they'll understand how communities work. You know what I mean?
Not these people. One of my favorite ones was these, and it happened several times. It wasn't like one time the defund the police march was happening, but they're in the streets and someone's trying to send you a sort.
I'm gonna look real quick.
They're blocking the street and someone's just trying to take a right turn and they swarm the vehicle and they floor it to get away from these psychopaths. You don't know what's going to happen. This person's probably terrified for their life. Smash the windows, drag him out of the car, beat him to death, maybe shoot him. But they swarm the car and the car just takes off and tries to leave. And these defund the police people go, call the cops. No, you don't get to do that.
I'm going to ask Tommy, can I share it? Tommy, do you care if I share your video?
That is the biggest smile emoji ever. So I think, yes.
Okay. So I'll make sure.
Are we going to wait for him to respond or? Yeah, there he goes.
Yeah. I already have it open. I was just making sure because sometimes people don't want to share their stuff. So hold on, I gotta do this.
Oh, not your DMs. You can't do that.
Well, it wouldn't open. It would be the whole screen. Then I couldn't click on the other thing I needed.
Oh.
So here we go. Oops, there's no sound. Yeah, see what they look like? They look like a little peacock with no tail. See, they're round. They're like round with a head.
Chester.
Oh, look it! They're getting mealworms.
It looks kind of like a pheasant.
I know, that's what I said, but that's a guinea hen.
You said peacock.
I know, I said because of their head, they look a little bit like a peacock without the tail.
Chester.
But do you see it? You see what it's eating?
No.
Okay,
You
wait,
have the, you have the thing in the way.
I'll pause it this time. See, those look like mealworms.
Yeah.
Chickens love those. And I used to raise them myself. You know, I had the eggs, and then I had another thing that had the pupa, and then another one when they turned into eggs. And I had the oatmeal and stuff like that until something got in it, like a raccoon or something, and dumped it all out and ate everything. So yeah. I'd have to start out. I didn't want to have them in my house because I was worried that, you know, some of them might get out or something. I didn't know. But yeah, thank you, Tommy. He's a happy guy. Is that a male? It looks like it could be a male. Is it a male?
Well, now I know what they look like.
Yeah, that's what they look like. Yeah. They're bunty worms. Yeah. They're, you know, all those little grubs and stuff are a lot alike. But the thing is, you know, if you were to do that, if you had your own place that you could grow those. Oh, it's a female? Okay. You have a place you can grow your own grubs like that. You could sell them for really good money. I've seen a bag that big go for $40-something of the dried ones. And you don't have to do anything besides feed them and make sure they have moisture and stuff in there. And all I ever put in there was oatmeal, and then I'd mist it with some water.
I saw you ever watch these videos where they're removing wasp nests or bees nests?
Yeah.
Or yellow jackets. Which
I've seen a few of those.
Wasps, ground wasps. This guy, I watched a couple of his videos because I think it's really interesting to get, you know, how exactly they work, what they're doing, different techniques that they use. Sometimes it's, you know, try out this thing that they saw on YouTube. Doesn't exactly work that well. Anyway, so they'll take the nest and they'll take it apart, and after they've killed all of the adults, they'll take the nest apart and bring the layers of, I think they're called crowns, maybe, I don't remember, but it's you know, the hexagons that are hanging one on the other, and they'll throw them to their chickens, and the chickens are like, oh my god, and they just go over there. Yeah, they just start picking up the grubs.
Well, you know what I got? I'm going to tell Tommy this too. There's these lights in there, they're bug lights, and they're about that big around, and they have a bowl on the bottom that you can lock in, and it has a fan, and the bugs come to the light and they get sucked down in, and they're still alive. They don't get zapped or anything. They're still alive. And I go out every morning and I have a cup towel that I leave outside, and I just twist it off and I throw the cup towel over it. Then I pick up anything that's on the ground, like, you know, cicadas or whatever's out that was attracted to the light and, you know, died or whatever. And then I take that out. And when I go into my run, I just call them out there and I just tip it over and I sprinkle them out. And they got bugs just crawling all around, flying around stuff. And the chickens just go nuts, and they're fresh. So they're healthy. And that's what I've been doing with my chicks. So they know that, hey, these are yummy. You can eat these. And then I'll throw in a bunch of the grubs, you know, the dried grubs in there. And I do the same thing with the ducks. And I'll put some of the dried grubs in the pond, you know, the little pool that I got in there for them. And you can hear them eating all those, you know, that noise that they make because they have to have water. You know, ducks have to have a lot of water, and they're so messy. So that's what I do. But I can't catch all the bugs I can with those little
my cousin had a bunch of chickens at the other place I lived at, and yeah, they get fresh eggs all the time. It's amazing. And he got people called on him in the neighborhood because they're like, your rooster's making noise. And he's like, I don't have a rooster. What are you talking about? Like, well, we know you have chickens. And he goes, no, you don't. How would you know I have chickens? Have you been in my backyard? Because that's illegal. like 2 blocks away, there was a farm, and there was a rooster on that farm.
Mhm.
Like you're spying on your neighbor. This is bad. Anyway, kind of getting off topic.
Yeah.
Chicken shit has a look to it, and it's pretty noticeable. Chicken poop. You could use that for compost, because a lot of what they eat is actually okay for compost, not great for compost. Ducks, on the other hand, you can't use that stuff, and their stuff is gross.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
It's so messy and so nasty.
Yeah, it's really bad. I just have to empty their pool out like every 2 or 3 days and wash it out and fill it back up again.
Oh,
for fresh water.
When I lived in South Florida, our neighbor, we had Muscovy ducks. Those are the ones with all that nasty crap on their face that kind of looks like cocks.
The bumpy wart looking things.
Yeah. They're just kind of ugly. And one of them was sitting.
Ugly ducklings.
Yeah. One of them was sitting on top of my next door neighbor's screen when we were out on the patio, and we were just kind of looking at it. And he decides to scare it. So he goes and gets the hose and turns the nozzle to jet and sprays the duck. And the duck shits straight through the screen room into the pool.
Oh, well, that's what you get when you do dumb shit. That's what happens.
They don't have a sphincter.
Yeah.
They don't have a sphincter. Just leave them alone. Like it will eventually leave. If you upset it, it is going to poop. Anyway, that was a terrible story. Sorry.
Well, it's all right. I'm trying to find this one video. If I can find it. Just give me a second. I'm looking.
Well, while you're looking, I'll be right back. About 30 seconds.
Is this it? Oh yeah, here's one. I'm gonna click on it and share. All right. I got a cute video because this was a couple years ago when I first did it. But I have lots of people that will bring me things, chickens or roosters, because they have someone who has one that they don't want anymore. Well, one of my friends brought me a chicken that fell off a Tyson chicken truck. And she said there were other ones, but they had broken legs and other ones, and most of them were dead already because on the side of the road. Well, this one she found, but she just had scrapes, some scrapes on her wings and stuff. Well, the thing is, when a chicken is being sent to be processed, they cut its beak off. Okay, and I'm not talking all the way down. They trim it because a beak is pointy, right? But a beak is made out of what your fingernails are made out of. It's the keratin stuff, right? Well, when they cut the end of the beak off, it can't drink. It can't peck. It can't put food in and eat it because there's no scoop there anymore. It's gone. So when I first got her, I had to feed her and give her water, and everything, because she couldn't do that because her beak was trimmed off and she was hurt. So I put her in.
Reason for doing this?
Huh?
What is their reason for doing this?
Because she fell off a truck and somebody saw her it fell off in front of her vehicle. A bunch of people pulled over to try to help the chickens that had fell out of this truck. And she got this one.
Why did Tyson cut off the end of their beak?
Okay, because when they pack them into a box, we go to be processed, they're pecking each other and stuff. And they'll tear up the meat, make it look bruised up and everything. So they cut their beaks off, the tips off, because they're about to go to be slaughtered. So they don't need a beak because they can't eat. They're going to lose their head in a minute anyways. That way they don't peck the other chickens and tear them up.
There's a better solution to this that doesn't involve chopping off body parts. I understand they're being used for meat. Chicken? I love chicken, but maybe you could space them out a little bit to where they can't pick each other. You can do that. As
many into a box as they can to get them to the thing to be a process. But I grew up around chicken plants.
Purdue stopped doing that when they had people infiltrate and be like, "Hey, look at how horrible Purdue is doing things."
Yeah, Purdue they might.
Tyson should too.
There's plenty of people that will still raise them. That's why you got a whole chicken house full of them.
It's not gonna hurt their bottom line. The only thing that's gonna happen is like some executive won't be able to afford his 4th Ferrari. Like that's the only problem.
Maybe. But the thing is, I just want to show this video.
I know. I'm not trying to change your mind. I'm just venting.
I know, but no, I didn't do it. I saved this chicken. She brought her to me, and I fed her, and it took a couple weeks for her beak to grow back.
I didn't say you did it. I said they're doing it.
No, I know, but what I'm saying is, after I got her that, then I put her in with my other chickens, right? Now she's the youngest, but she's the biggest because they inject them with all the hormones and other stuff. So she's huge. I mean, she's like a turkey next to my chickens. But I'm going to show you this video because I just thought it was so cute. I named her Tyson. Okay. And you got to remember, she got to lay eggs and she got to take dust baths and she got to free range with all my other chickens. So I want to show you, I want to show this video for you. Here you go. A video about my chicken I saved that fell off a Tyson truck.
Oh my God.
Okay. These are all my normal chickens that are coming. And over in
there's a rooster. That's what it is.
She'll come.
Yeah, isn't he pretty?
She's very
He's the one that died recently. Oh, look, here she comes.
This is the
See how she waddles? She's so fat.
Come on, girl.
And she's like 10 weeks old. That's it.
Come on.
She's 10 weeks old, and all these chickens over here are already laying.
Well, she's probably never had the ability to walk out in the open like this before.
Well, she lived in a giant chicken house, so she had lots of things. It's just that they inject them with so much shit. See, her chest is bare.
Yeah.
Okay, it has no feathers on it from, you know.
Doesn't even have feathers on it because she's so fat, and she has to sleep in the bottom of the coop.
She can't fly up on a roof.
To fly up.
So I made her a ladder so she could get up in a nesting box. I made a wooden ladder for her.
I want, look at that. I want
Look
chicken.
at my other chickens. See my other chickens? That's how they're supposed to look. A healthy, normal sized chicken. But she did really well. I had her for almost 2 years, and until she got killed by a predator, because I have bears. And I'll pull that up real quick.
You don't have a fence?
I have 4.5 acres, and I have bears that show up like this one. This is darn it. This one has been in my backyard for like 5 days straight. I've had to tie up my it's emptied my chicken feed, so now I've got to go buy some more chicken feed and put ropes over the top, I guess, and tie them shut. And then it's gotten my trash, and now I have my trash can tied shut. But see, if you have neighbors within a mile, right, and they don't shut their trash cans or whatever, you can't get rid of the bear, right? So I have people saying, well, get an AR, which I have, but I don't want to shoot it. And I contacted the game warden, and they said, well, we don't like to take the trailers out and try to trap them that way. And just need to lock up your food, and it eventually.
But yes, I am locking up my food. The neighbors are not. I cannot control the neighbors.
He said if it tries to attack you or tries to attack your animals or does damage to your property, then you can shoot it. You have the right to shoot it where I live. But I want to share this video with you. So here we go.
I think you always have a right to shoot a bear when it comes on your property against the law. That did the little bear. He's only about 120 pounds.
I don't care. He's still dragging out. He took 3 whole bags of trash out of my can, and they just disappeared. I didn't know where they were until I went walking through the woods on the edge of my property, and there they are, 3 bags underneath the tree, all ripped open, and they just snacked on them. So.
And you don't have a fence around your property?
No, I have no fence. I have 4.5 acres, but let me show you this other one real quick. Move the back button. I got to type it in here. Let's see.
Tommy, that's not chunky. That's chonky with an O.
Here it is. This one. This was from 2 years ago, and that's the wrong one. Darn it. Hold on. Where is it? Oh, I said black bear, I think. Let me write that on the front. Yeah, this one. Here it is. Can you see it?
Yep.
This is a full-grown one. See the difference in size? This is my front porch, and right over here is a little coop with my babies in it. And I have food in this big, giant black box right here. And those are 2 grills that I was donating to Goodwill. And they smell like, meals, food or whatever. And, he's sniffing everything.
This is like a Ring doorbell kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Does it alert you that this has happened?
Yeah, it tells me that someone's at your front door and stuff like that.
So you run out the front door and go, and the bear's
I went and I beat on the door later when I thought that it was gonna get my chicks, because I got my 9mm and I was like, that ain't gonna do nothing. But he hits it with one paw, hits that box and moves it with one paw. That's how strong they are. People don't realize it.
Made a noise. He's like, oh, shoot.
But he doesn't leave. So it took him a while to go. But the thing is, black bear are everywhere in Arkansas. See, I'm beating on the door saying, get away, go away, go away, go on, get out of here. But I was so worried it was going to go get my chicks. Because see, that noise
from the drawer spooked him.
Yeah, but he didn't leave. But, I've had a lot of bear, and I've had rattlesnakes. I've got rat snakes. I got copperheads.
Oh my God. I was walking a puppy.
Coyote.
We have good lawn service around this lake that I walk the puppy around. I call her puppy. She's 10 years old, but she's my puppy. And I'll let her down, like when it's really hot outside, I'll let her down to the water so she can drink. Like, like I can tell when she's thirsty, And I started walking her down, and they had these like giant pavers that they had layered up to make the artificial lake, and these cypress knees had lifted them up. And inside one was an eastern diamondback that I want to say was about 6 inches in diameter around. And I almost didn't see it. So I'm walking my puppy down to the water to get a drink, and I just went, ooh, ooh, ooh. I think I have a picture of it. But that scared the hell out of me because it blended in so well.
Sunning snakes that are just, taking a relaxing time in the sun, absorbing the sun, and it'd be a rattlesnake or a copperhead or what, just like, oh, look at me, I'm enjoying the sun, and you're like, what the fuck? I go get a shovel and I'm gonna chop off your head, buddy. That's what I do to them. So, but king snakes I keep because they'll kill poison snakes. But I got one more video I'm going to share before I go off.
Well, hang on, let me see if we can find the picture of the diamondback.
Okay, but this right here, I want you to see this one. This is when we had the total eclipse. Remember that?
Yes.
This is my front yard.
It looks a lot different.
And it's starting to have a.
I've seen this video. I remember. Well, maybe Chet didn't. I remember you showing me this video.
Yeah, it was when we had the total eclipse.
Ours was really overcast.
Even though it's dark over here.
See, that's my little Bantams in that little coop. Whenever I have a mama, I put her in there with her babies. See, it's starting to
solar light is
coming
on.
See, it's changing.
The solar light one.
My coop's way over there. You can see the other light in the coop.
I hear my chickens under the porch still, but they haven't.
I was wondering if my chickens would think it was nighttime. It's time to go get the coop, but they didn't react to it.
Under the
They didn't know what to do. They didn't know how to react.
My light came on my back porch. It's like the sun has went down or going down. And I'm gonna take a picture of it real quick. Oh, you can't see it. It's absolutely beautiful totality.
That's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool shot right there.
It was cloudy,
It's
so it's always
gorgeous.
cloudy for me.
Oh,
Yeah, it was really overcast here.
so
All we
beautiful.
saw was it
So
gets
You see
slightly
how
darker.
much yard I mow
It's gorgeous.
every week?
Oh,
I mow a huge
it
yard.
is like night. I hear the crickets.
Wow, it got so dark.
Chirp.
It gets dark really quick, but
Gorgeous.
it's slowly.
I can see
It's slowly.
stars
If you look up at the
in the
sky, and
sky.
it's just really interesting. I'm so thankful I was there to be able to
But
film
look
it happening,
how
because how
beautiful.
often do you get to have that, you know?
The
Yeah.
lights have come on above my flag.
See, I have a solar light above my flag because you're supposed to have light on your flag at all
The
times.
chickens are acting weird. They're still out. Like they don't understand what's going on. Their little silver light has come on, but they're antsy acting. The little
My little
rooster's pacing
Bantam
back
is
and forth. He
roosters is
doesn't
pacing
understand
back and
what's
forth.
going on or
What's
why
going
it's
on?
dark out. He's
But see how
going
dark
home.
it is? Look at it.
Oh, yeah.
It's
She's
pitch
coming over
dark.
here. She doesn't know what to think about.
Now my hands are coming out from under the porch going, hey, what's going on? Who turned off the lights?
She is about to, I think, to start going toward the coop. She thinks it's
Time for a
nighttime.
sacrifice.
What's going on, girlfriend? Why is it dark out here? Oh, but it's so pretty. I can see at the very edge of the moon.
There's the
it looks
rooster.
like bright light.
Yeah, they
but in
crow
a
all
little
day.
spot.
People don't realize it.
very
Roosters don't
bizarre.
crow just in the morning.
It's
Well, they're trying to
gorgeous.
ward off
Oh my
predators.
God, it's beautiful.
They're letting them know that they're there,
It is
Yeah.
and the girls and the other roosters.
It is amazing out here. Look at this.
And see, it's starting to pass now. It was for 30 seconds or whatever. It pitched dark. Now it's coming back.
They're looking around. They do not know what is going on. What is going on, girlfriend? Huh? What's happening? What's happening? What is going on, ladies? Is it nighttime? Huh? What's happening out here? What is going on? Huh? My rooster's out, but you can't see him because he's black.
There he is.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Why is it dark outside? Oh my God, it is beautiful. Oh my God, it's so pretty. The sky is gorgeous. It is beautiful.
Yeah, my phone just didn't do it justice as pretty as it was.
All the way around me, it's gorgeous, and right above me, it's darkness.
It's almost like I was standing in a rainbow,
Looks like it's starting to
because it was like
come back
pink
out
and
again.
purple and
It's
orange,
coming
all
out
these different
Yeah.
colors.
on the
You can't
one
see.
side,
But see how
going
fast
back
it's
to
coming back?
normal.
It's just
See, you can see the light coming out.
solar eclipse.
My chickens are starting to wander around like, wow, what happened?
See, chickens
Maybe they
eat
think it's just
ticks,
cloud cover.
eat frogs. I've seen them
Maybe they
fight,
don't realize
tear
it was
little
another
copperheads to shreds.
To see, as you can
Lizards,
tell,
moles.
it is starting to
I
shine
watched
again
that
like normal.
that rooster that you just saw fight off a fox right in my front yard. Feathers were everywhere, but when I ran in and got my gun and came back out, the rooster was the only one left. He ran off. But yeah, that's the life of someone who lives in the Arkansas Ozarks. So it's pretty, but not much out here. Cell
Well,
service is
I
bad.
find the picture of the big rattlesnake, but I did send one that long ago when I was walking the dog, just walking on the sidewalk, and I looked over there. I just like to look at the water sometimes, and there's a 6-foot rattlesnake just hanging out. Like, he's not even coiled up; he's just laying out.
Yeah, sunning themselves.
Yeah, I sent you that picture. If you want to share that
on X.
Yeah.
Is it on X? Okay. Because see, I have Discord open because that's normally where I get stuff off of there. But let me open my chat real quick.
The crazy thing is, like, he doesn't look that big when you're walking up on him. You know, just like the head and the gigantic cheeks on either side of his head are kind of a symbol. Like, that's a viper. They've got lots of poison. That's where the poison sacs are. So you just see, like, maybe. Yeah, there it is. Oh, don't show all that. Yeah.
There you go. See there?
Yeah. That's like 6 feet.
Yeah, he's big.
That one is maybe like 3 inches thick around. The one that I saw under the paver was like 6 inches around. Like, he's probably dead now, and this might be one of his babies.
Well, I went out one time, and I was walking toward my big coop, and I saw a bird, not a chicken, but I saw a big robin, or it was I think it was a robin, and it was like leaping a little bit and leaping up like something was there, and I could see something moving up and down in the grass, and I was like, oh, I think it's a snake. So I grabbed my shovel and was walking towards it. When I got there, it was the biggest praying mantis I'd ever seen in my life. I mean, It looked like a small snake's head. That's how big it was.
They could probably eat a bird.
It had those big, pincher things. It was trying to get that bird so it wouldn't attack. And that bird wanted to eat him so bad. So I just shooed the bird off, and I picked up the praying mantis. It was huge. I've never seen one that big in my life. And I just put it up in the bush that was there. And I didn't see it again after that. But when I saw it, the way it was in the grass, I thought it was a snake, trying to get away from that bird.
Oh, geez. I don't know what's been happening like the last couple of months, but I've seen dead birds a little more often. One in my front yard and a couple while walking. And also, we didn't have like a crazy rainstorm before, but there was a baby dove, squab, I think they're called, that I didn't even see. What I saw was the adult that was on the ground, which is not how doves behave. They don't really go to the ground. They stay up in the trees or on fences or on roofs or whatever. And as the dog and I started getting closer, the dove started flailing on the ground and like spazzing out and like flapping its wings and moving away from us on the ground.
Yeah, it was trying to get you to go away from the baby.
Right, that we didn't even see yet. But it was really cool to see that behavior.
Yeah, she was trying to say protect her young. And rabbits do that because rabbits have a little impression on the ground, and they just hover over it with their teats, and the babies suck, and then they cover grass over it, and then they leave. It's not a hole in the ground.
I've saved baby rabbits.
And a lot of people don't understand. They'll see a rabbit and it'll act like it shakes and falls to the side a little bit and stuff, like it's trying to, like it's sickly or something or hurt. Yeah. And the animal will go towards it. A dog or a cat will go towards the rabbit to get it, and it'll move a little farther away and do the same thing, trying to get it away from its babies. And a lot of birds will do that, and they'll hold their wing out like they got a broken wing. Things like that. They're very smart. Smart.
I was walking my dog off leash, which I haven't been able to do since May 2024. That's a longer story. And I was walking her off leash, and she paid pretty good attention unless there was something for her to go after. Like, we saw a deer. We spooked a deer, and it was under a street light, and it ran to the end of where the street light ended, and then turned around the other direction to where the street light ended, and then ran back the other direction. because it can see the area where the street light is, and everything beyond that is darkness because they're stupid. So it wouldn't run in the darkness as it saw it coming. Anyway, my dog went and got a rabbit, and she saw one, and I was like, and because I saw the rabbit before. My eyesight is better than hers. Her sense of smell and hearing are better than mine. But I tried to get her on the leash when I saw the bunny, and she got away from me, and she ran right over to the bunny and hit it, and it rolled on its side, and my dog just started like poking it with her nose and like smashing her nose into it, and then like started biting it, and the rabbit kicked her in the face and scratched her and then ran off. And around the corner I could see 3 other little bunnies, and I went, it was sacrificing itself so that her babies could get away. It was playing dead to get the predator away. You're muted, Janet.
I guess, sorry about that. I must have bumped it with my arm, but I guess it's time for me to get ready to go to bed. But you guys have a wonderful night, and thank you for everyone who hung out with us this evening. And I hope we had some interesting stories for you. I hope you enjoyed them, and I hope you guys have a wonderful Thursday. That's tomorrow starting, getting close to the weekend.
And a wonderful weekend. Hope you have a wonderful weekend.
So I hope to talk to you later, and you guys have a wonderful night, and take care of yourselves. See you later.